All right.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it's probably hooked on the shit. My buddy texted me. He was listening to the one with, I think, Charlie or Gideon. I don't remember. Evan was texting me. What's up, Ev? Evan was texting me. He was like, I love how you can hear the beer cracking sounds. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's authentic.
Dude, yeah, and I forget who was telling me, but they were like, yeah, you can, in the first one, you can hear you peeing.
Yeah,
every time.
the echo.
I know. I was like, Jack told me that he was going to edit some of this stuff out, and he edited nothing.
Nope, I didn't even try.
He didn't edit a single thing.
Cheers. Thanks for coming back on.
Cheers, brother.
Appreciate you.
Always. Let's have fun.
Let's have some fun, first and foremost.
Cheers.
Shout out to my people.
Yeah.
You know who you are. I'm not going to list you all.
You could have bought 2 of those.
I
said you probably could have bought 2 of those with the funds that were raised.
Yeah. But instead, it paid for Battlefield, which I regret buying.
Which you never play.
That game blows up. What if I go, sorry, Bennett? Well, you have the next gen. I don't. Apparently, it's good on next gen, but it fucking sucks on the PS4. My PS4 is also super old. Cheers. There's more sipping.
Right.
You can shoot it, but it's really smooth. You ever had this?
No.
Really smooth.
Yeah,
tequila.
that's insane.
Some thoughts right off the rip. So what we were talking about, how you were like, you might post this, you might not post this. Something that I've been thinking about is like people have come up to me and like I obviously appreciate them for asking how the podcast is going. Mm-hmm. But they're like, what does it take to get on? Or like, and I'm just like, dude, like a text saying, hey, can I come on? Like that's,
what do you mean?
You don't have to be special. And like, I'll tell people like, yeah, come on. They're like, oh, I got nothing to bring to the table. And I'm like, you realize this is just me talking to my friends, right?
Right.
Like I'm not having these people on because they wrote a history book.
That's the whole point.
Right. And they're like, oh, no, I couldn't do it. And I'm like, dude, if you can have like 4 beers and talk to me for 2 hours, let's do it.
Right. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, I couldn't. I'm like, come on. Like, it's so much fucking fun. It's so
and that's
much
like
fun.
what I got kind of out of the first one was it's fun to have this platform to be asked questions that you think about, but you never have the time to like talk about really.
Like vocalize them.
Yeah. I was talking with one of my friends about our experience on the first one, and like everyone knows I went to Vietnam,
Right.
but I've never been able to elaborate on it the way that I did, and like
Because they probably just like asked you how it was, what city you go to, this, that, the other thing.
And it wasn't like we probably spent 45 minutes to an hour just talking about that, and it's like you're never gonna do that with someone when you're just shooting the shit, hanging out on a Sunday watching football,
right? Or if you're at a bar with 100 people,
right?
Or even if you're at like someone's backyard and there's 6 people drinking beers, like
exactly. And like people that I see. Like 12 bars was a great example.
Right.
Like when you run into people like that, you don't want to be so like self-centered, I guess is not the right word, but it's like, man, when you come across those people and all they do is talk about themselves, it is like, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know,
that's something that I've like been going out of my way is like be self-conscious of is like whenever I'm talking, just having a conversation with someone, how many times I say I, or like my, because that was something I learned in my first job with just like sales 101 is like a lot of sales emails. It's like what people think is like, I can bring this, I can do that, we can do this. And it's not like, what do you need? How are you doing it? Like what process is this? And like, I've always thought about, because like if you like, internally think about how many times you say I, and like if you have a 20-minute conversation, you said I 40 times, you were probably talking the whole time.
Right.
And like I get it, like if you have a story or something, sure, but
yeah, going back to what you were saying about people reaching out and like wanting to be on, I think that's fucking awesome.
I agree. Like again, I can't appreciate, like I can't express my gratitude enough, but
like for example, like one of our friends, Kellen, like we talked about like him coming on, and I know you guys had planned to do it.
Yeah,
there was some
stuff that happened.
Scheduling
but conflicts.
It's like, dude, everyone has some kind of story that makes them who they are.
Right. Exactly.
And it's like, it doesn't matter if you don't feel like your life is that crazy. It's just about other people listening to different experiences and maybe getting something out of it. And if they don't, who the fuck cares?
Right. Exactly. And like everyone that's come on here, like I'll ask one question. Like I noticed it when I was listening to Charlie, like re-listening through Charlie's. Like I just ask him one question. Like you can't really tell if you're listening, or like not many people watch the YouTube videos, but like I remember like the given point, the given question, and like I would ask a question, you could just like see him like the facial expression. Like I knew I was like, he's about to go on not a tangent.
Nicaragua.
Yeah, but he was just like, I've got a lot to say about this. No one ever really asked about it.
Yeah.
And like I love that because like the questions I sent you and like what I've been reading and like
such ridiculous questions.
They are ridiculous. We're gonna get into them. But like there's like questions in here that I want to ask. Like there's like 5 questions I want to start asking everybody. And like one of the things that I've like picked up on from just like a shit I've read is like ask like a good thing. I don't know how to put this, but like ask someone what they're passionate about. Like what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? Like what are you passionate about? And they could say literally anything.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, ask them like, let's like take Charlie, for example. Like if I asked him like what frustrated you the most about med school, like he would immediately have something. And like doesn't matter what aspect of it, like take Matt in baseball. Like I could ask him like take 100 different things I could ask him and I could pick one out and be like what frustrated you the most about that. He would probably have so many emotions regarding that one thing.
Yeah.
And like that's how like people get talking.
Exactly. And it's like that's kind of the beauty of those standardized questions, I guess, is you get to see where people go with it.
Right.
Because I feel like for the most part, the guests on your show have been primarily like relatively serious.
Yeah.
Like for the most part.
Yeah,
like,
I'd agree.
And you could just have people that are like, I fucking hate old people driving.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
That pisses me off. And then you just talk about that. But it's like, or you can get into politics or like stuff like that. And so I feel like it's kind of cool that you have this because you can go in so many different directions with it.
Thank you. It is cool. It's fun. You know. Yeah. Shout out you. It's like the first recurring guest.
Yeah.
But that was the whole thing. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be. It'd be awesome if I could do this for a full-time job. But I'm not doing this expecting that because then it's not going to be me.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not only going to do these for people of, like, quote status. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
granted, they do have better stories, but
like like that's not why I'm doing it. It's like if that was the only reason I'm doing this, I'd only be able to post like 20 of them a year. Because like A, finding those people, and then B, finding the time to get those people, like let alone their schedule, getting them over here for 2, 3, whatever hours. Yeah, like, that's a whole nother thing, and I don't want it to be that.
Right.
Because we have this same quality of conversation. We're just good friends.
Yeah, we do this all the time.
Exactly.
And now we're just recording it.
Right.
I would say, as a word of wisdom, obviously this is going to be, if we decide to release it, episode 7, I believe.
That sounds right.
And I think having more of like a standardized schedule of like every second, do 2 a month or 3 a month, doing like every Friday or like Thursday. Because I think you dropped, I think it was these two. I think it was Jack and Andy.
It was like back to back.
Yeah, on the same day or like back to back days.
It was like Tuesday and then like Wednesday or Thursday or something.
So I got through a little bit of one and then I was like, oh.
This next one's already out.
Yeah, this next one's already out.
That's what everything I've been doing, like this YouTube. I don't want to. I'm doing YouTube because I almost feel like I have to, but I don't know, whatever. Everything, like when you set up a YouTube account and like when you like go and like set up the podcast account, like in like your name, your last name, the name of it, the RSS feed, and like the 5th question is what's the frequency that you're posting these? And it asks you if you're doing once a week, every Monday, every 2 weeks, every 48 hours. And I'm like, wow, so there's like real shit to this. Yeah. And I agree with you. That was actually one of the goals I wrote down is I want to do 52 this year. And like, yes, ideally that's 1 a week, but I already missed a week. So now it's eventually one of them is going to be 2 in a week. But I agree. Like if I could just have it lined up internally and for the sake of what you were just saying, just to have like a set schedule of I know when it has to be out and when it's going to be out.
Because then people can start expecting it.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing is like, you never know. It could be like, and obviously this isn't slander. This is just advice for the future. But
yeah,
like it would be nice to know like, okay, on Mondays, Jack's got a pod out, in balance between other ones that people listen to.
Absolutely.
Because you're not going to get everyone to jump ship from the podcast that they already listen to. Like, I'm still going to listen to Pardon My Take.
Right.
And I'm still going to listen to my soccer ones.
And, like, Pardon My Take, Monday, the football recap. Like, you wake up Monday, it's like, oh, yeah, like, I get to listen to this on the way to work.
Yeah.
And, like, that's how I feel about Two Bears.
Yeah.
Because that's every Monday. And, like, I wake up, I get in my car, I'm like, fuck, yeah, new Two Bears episode.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I'm actively trying to stop cussing.
Yeah, we cussed a lot on the first one.
I say, yeah, I got a potty mouth. But speaking of soccer, did you watch that trailer I sent you?
Yeah, it.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know.
Because PES was shit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I never even played it.
I think someone bought one of them.
So for reference, this is like UFL.
Yeah, they do UFL game. I don't even know, United Football League or something?
I didn't really look too much into it, honestly. But
gameplay.
I mean, it looks like shit, dude, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm really pulling for them because I hate EA.
I mean, I do too. They've taken so much of my money.
What is UFL?
But it's just like, it's such a good...
Upper flammable limit, no. I hope, though, dude, because like EA and like how you've expressed it, like the pay-to-play shit.
It's unbelievable.
It's awful. It's so awful.
Yeah, when you get Kellen on, you should talk to him about this because he actually wrote a paper on it in law school. Yeah,
I'm gonna write that down right now.
Yeah, it was more of the microtransactions in video games.
Paper about microtransactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know any more details?
No, he just kind of asked me my opinion because he knows I play FIFA, and I mean, so here's a great example. There's a new promo out on FIFA right now for Team of the Year.
Right.
Like the best 11 players all get a special card.
Yeah.
This streamer spent over £3,000.
It's almost $5,000.
Yeah. On FIFA points to open packs to try and get one of these.
To try and get.
Didn't get a single one. And it's like, it makes it worth it because his YouTube videos get a bunch of money and his Twitch stream, he has ads and he's sponsored and all this stuff, and that's okay because you can make it that back. But when you're looking at the average Joe who's spending $100 on points to buy packs and you don't get anything, it's just like
it's a total waste.
Total waste of money. When
I put money into a game like take Rocket League, I'll put $20 in to buy like the new Rocket Pass or something.
But that's also a free game.
But that $20, like I'm not spending $20 on the same game. It would be totally different if I had to spend $20 like every week or something like that.
Yeah.
Like to get good play. If there was like
such a curve.
If there was like an advantage to like having a better car in Rocket League and I had to open things to hopefully get that car, I wouldn't play the game.
Right. That's exactly what FIFA is.
That's like it would drive me crazy. And like obviously you can like work and get coins and like play the mini games and stuff like that. But the pay to win, I guess, not pay to play, pay to win.
Yeah,
is such a scam.
Because you can play, like you can do it from like 0 to nothing. You have to play 50 games a week.
Yeah, didn't you look up like the hours on that? And it was like literally like you almost playing all day every day to get the coins to buy these dudes.
Yeah.
Because some of these dudes are going for like 2 million FIFA coins or something like that.
Yeah, like minimum. Like it's just crazy. And EA have no competition. That's why I'm excited about this game, even though it doesn't look great. They need someone to challenge them.
Right.
Because they are just dominating. Like
it's the same thing with Madden. Every time the new Madden comes out, Twitter's just in an uproar.
Dude, Madden doesn't touch FIFA.
No, not even close. Not even close.
In terms of in-game purchases, I guarantee you Madden is probably 100th, probably less of what FIFA brings in.
What would that be? In-game Madden?
Look up FIFA first.
What, like
revenue? Revenue.
1.6 billion from Ultimate Team.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that 1.6 is FIFA compared to Madden. Together.
1.6 billion. So this is across FIFA.
Guarantee you FIFA's
Madden and
1.2 or something.
There you go. FIFA 21 has amassed more than 25 million console and PC players since its October 2020 release. The title helped EA generate 1.3 billion in revenue. In its fiscal Q4.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
I didn't know it was that much. That's insane.
The California-based company has made more than $7 billion in Ultimate Team revenue. People, this is not people buying the game. This is people buying the game and buying coins in the game to hopefully get good players on your team. Hopefully getting good players on your team.
Yeah, so I guess it's including Madden and NHL, but I guarantee you.
So what's 25, what's it? It's $70 now, isn't it?
I think the standard's still 60. but you can get like the ultimate edition.
So what is that? 15 billion? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's 1.5.
1.5 billion from game sales for FIFA 21, and then in Q4.
That can't be right, because if you go back to that article, it said it brought in $7 billion since 2015.
Yeah,
so there's no way they did it in one quarter. That doesn't seem.
Dude, it might. It might.
There's no way. There's no way.
Right there. In March, EA opened an investigation into allegations that at least one employee had been selling rare FIFA Ultimate Team cards for as much as $2,500.
That was all over Reddit.
Through a back channel.
He would.
They then confirmed that the unauthorized sales had taken place. Oh my God!
He was putting these Team of the Year cards,
like Mbappe, Ronaldo,
on people's and icons like Ronaldo and Ronaldinho, on people's accounts, and they would just wire him money.
20,
and they were like these screenshots of the 10. There was like a structure to it that you could buy which ones you wanted.
That's insane.
You can buy 1 to 3, or you could buy 5 to 7. And it would be just an insane jump of money.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know what these numbers are, because this says EA's full year revenue of 2020 was $5.6 billion. 30% of that came from Ultimate Team modes, but then down here it says they've made more than $7 billion. There's no way that 80% of that revenue has come in the past year.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, maybe. There's no way, though.
No way. The game's been so big for so long.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't know. But that's how crazy this shit is.
Yeah. You should definitely, Kellen will be way more knowledgeable about this than I am, but speaking firsthand, I've spent probably, since the game came out in September.
You said October. But I think September 29th rings a bell.
Yeah.
I think it's the last Thursday of September or something like that.
I've probably spent over $100 on those points.
Trying to get people?
Yeah. Well, no, just getting packs just for players to have.
And
you don't get shit.
Holland?
Yeah, but he's not worth anything anymore, because the way this game's structured, there's such a power curve for different kinds of players. There's only, of the base cards, there's only 5, 6 that sell for over 100,000 coins.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's 6. Everything else is you can buy, which is kind of cool for the intermediate, lower level players that don't play as much and can get these kind of cooler cards for less expensive. And I don't know what they've done with the market to make that so, but it's still just insane.
I'd be interested to see how UFL plans on doing that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Do you? What do you think? What do you think the fix is?
Because just come up with a good game.
You can say play more and earn more, but then it's just the people then the streamers that are playing for 9 hours a day are still going to get the best cards.
Yeah, but I guess if more people have access to those higher level players, then it will be way more fair.
True.
But at the same time, then there's no. If you can have access to everyone, then it kind of loses that lust of, wow, you got that card.
Right.
You know, because everyone's got that card.
Because you've seen the videos of people freaking out.
Out.
The video of you getting, not the video, but the picture of you getting the dude back in college.
Yeah, I lost my mind.
Who was that?
Messi.
Was it Messi?
Yeah.
I thought it was
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that.
That was, I remember that. I remember
it was FIFA 17.
I remember you jumping down the hallway.
Yeah, I was running down the hallway. It was insane. I remember it it was yesterday. And that kind of, it's pretty nerdy.
No,
I mean it's you just you're a little kid.
If I were to go based off statistics, I would bet that 98% of the people that listen to this podcast play video games and know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The other 2% is my sister, South Carolina.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how they fix it. I really don't. They've got such a chokehold on the market for this game.
Sad.
It's crazy. I don't know. I literally don't know a single person that owned PES. Pro Evolution Soccer.
One of our friends bought it to see what it was.
I think it was Jack O'Brien in college.
I don't know.
And he played it once. And
but on the flip side, the streamer that spends $3,000 open packs gets nothing. And then think about so there's two sides of the conversation. Not two sides of the conversation, but two different ways that could go. Like there's the kid, like let's say the 11-year-old kid that doesn't know what money is and just has like the parent's credit card hooked to the account.
Right.
And they just, before you know it, he spends $20,000 on the credit card. And like EA's not giving that money back.
No, but they do. There is like you can't go that crazy.
Like there's like
so because these streamers have to like switch accounts when they load up, or like they have to like periodically. You can only do a certain amount a day. Mm-hmm. So when they're preparing for like spending $3,000, they'll do 500 one day, 500 the next day, and then they'll build up that FIFA point bank essentially.
And like on the flip side, like think about like on the like let's take an 11-year-old kid, like think about the other 11-year-old kid that's been mowing lawns for 5 weeks to make $50 to put into FIFA to try and get Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And he gets nothing.
Nothing.
Like that's like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And that's outrageous, especially if the kid loves
crazy.
FIFA. If he just loves soccer, wants to play soccer, but he can't play with his favorite player.
Yeah, it's unattainable. Literally. Unattainable.
It's honestly just rude and inconsiderate.
They don't give a
No, they don't give a fuck.
They're making so much money.
To go off of this, one of the other things I had written down was, so what's 1.3 of 1.6? That's probably 80%. I'm not going to do math. Math's not mathing. The view that tweet I sent you about the viewership between, it was the 100 in 2021, the 100 most viewed TV broadcasts, and like 70 something of them were NFL
in the U.S.
In the U.S. In the U.S., like 70 something of them were NFL related, like Monday Night Football game, the Super Bowl, random games, and then there's one college basketball game, like some Oprah thing, like a rocket launch, like the Thanksgiving Day parade, like shit like that. But there's one college basketball game.
We'll pull it up. Let's see it. I want to refresh my memory because I remember you telling me about it and we talked about it.
I wonder if I could just search it by text. Probably not.
No, it was probably over a month ago.
This doesn't delete messages.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice. I'll try and find it.
You sent it was a screenshot. No, it was a tweet.
I think it was a tweet.
I
bet I could find it really quickly. If shit loads. But, so there was, I'll try and find it, but there was only one other sports broadcast, and it was a college basketball game. 2021.
There was some college football on there.
I don't think there was.
Yeah, there was. For sure.
Twitter. Here it is. January 7th, yeah.
About a month ago. Nice Google, Jamie.
I wanted Jamie.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is it.
The top 100 most watched 2021 U.S. TV broadcasts. NFL had 75 of the 100. NBA had 0. That's NHL wild. Had 0. MLB had 0.
Yeah, bring that up a little bit.
So the top...
Oh, love that.
The top 6 are all football games. Number 7 is politics programming, so that was probably a debate or something.
No.
That's how out of touch I am.
I don't think that was. I don't know what that would be. Anyway. Yeah, look at these college footballs.
So of the top 10 football, NFL had 9 of them. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 college football games.
What does that even mean?
Super Bowl lead out, like I don't know.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. But it's 36, so a bunch of people watched it.
Dude, look at the entire second row.
Maybe that was like the halftime show or something.
21-40. Minus the Turkey Day.
So, most watched, top 100 most watched, 1 through 40. 7, 12.
We'll just do minus.
And 36. Nope, 36, the NFL thing. So, 7 and 12 are the only non-NFL related things.
And then 31.
31 was a turkey. Yeah, but like, and I quoted this saying, it's funny how, like, people are like...
I can't believe the Champions League final is not on there. That kind of is surprising to me.
And then there's a bunch of Olympic stuff, Thanksgiving parade, Oprah special, 60 minutes is 99.
And it doesn't say the sports, or like the source, excuse me. Like where this data is coming from.
Right here, Sportico. Lev Akabas. Sportico, I'm probably going to post this. I wish it would say that, like, this was obviously the Super Bowl.
It had to have been.
And, like, I wonder what 6 is. Like, I'm sure one of these was probably opening kickoff. But, like, I quoted it and tweeted it that...
Oh, yeah, that jabroni who responded.
Yeah, dude, that was so funny. I could probably pull that up, too. Oh, he deleted the tweet.
Did he really?
He deleted the tweet, but I screenshotted it. Oh, my God, what was that? I'm going to find that.
He was so irrational.
I quote tweeted it saying it's funny how the NFL is so big, but then the NFL doesn't even touch the soccer viewership. And it's not even, like, you want to talk about FIFA to Madden, it's damn close to that kind of a comparison.
Yeah, it's insane. That's why I'm slightly surprised that the Champions League final is not on here. And it wasn't like... I mean,
even for the U.S., you're surprised?
Yeah, for sure.
Here, I quote tweeted it. It's funny, though, because the NFL doesn't even tickle the soccer games. And this dude responded, and then he deleted the tweet. America, the most influential country in the world, doesn't fuck with the world sport. It's a game for the pores.
So ignorant. Dude.
That's what that guy said. So ignorant. Unbelievably ignorant. And then I went...
It's a game for the pores.
Yeah. America, baby. But then I went and looked it up. You told me to look it up for the world, like... I think you might have told me to look up the Champions League, but I looked up the World Cup.
Yeah, 2018.
And, like, the total people, like, in given the World Cup's, like, 20-something games. But the World Cup had, like, 1.7 billion people watching it in total.
It's insane.
And, like, even if you break, like, let's, like, just for numbers' sake, let's say 20. How many games are in the World Cup tournament?
I don't know. A lot.
It's 25 close?
No.
More than that?
Probably like 36 to 40, I would
Let's say 40, and let's just use 1.6 billion.
Well, that 1.6 is coming from the final, I think.
No, I think it was total.
No way. I think it's just one game.
You think one? Actually, I'd believe that. I would believe that.
I think it's just the final because they compared it against the Super Bowl. They wouldn't do.
You did. They did compare it against the Super Bowl. How many people watched the 2018 World Cup? According to FIFA, the 2018 World Cup final between France and Croatia reached an average live audience of 517 million viewers, with more than 1.1 billion people tuning in over its 90 minutes. So what I probably read was the total collective was like, actually I think it was like 1.7 sounds right. But still.
It's a seventh of the world's population.
517 live with 1.1 billion people tuning in.
Well, look at that first article right there. Super Bowl pales in comparison to the biggest game in soccer.
Hilarious. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, I'm totally going to allow all of this.
So crazy.
Super Bowl pales in comparison, having an average viewership of 99.9 million in the U.S., plus an estimated 50 million views around the world.
Why wouldn't they just say 100?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't they just say 100?
So, yeah, people, like, you think, like, I forget who it was. I asked somebody, I was like, who do you think's more famous, LeBron or Ronaldo? And, like, the conversation went on, and, like, we were thinking about it, and, like, LeBron and, like, the reach that the NBA has in China is, like, I mean, China.
The reach that Ronaldo has.
That's right. Like, in Lisbon, like, half the city was named after. It was, like, literally, like, CR7 Hotel, and, like, Ronaldo
He's got his own line of hotels.
And,
amongst
like,
other things.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And, like, the shit with Messi, how Argentina had to ban, his hometown had to ban people naming their kids Lionel. Hilarious.
It's crazy, dude.
We don't name people Mahomes.
When I was in China for the 2018 World Cup, and we were in Beijing, and the games were played at fucking 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Because of the time difference. And there was a Budweiser-sponsored zone that was like a bunch of big, beautiful tents, all Budweiser themed, all this stuff, and it was kind of surrounded by.
I'm sorry, where was this? Beijing?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
And so we would be out, like, the games would start at 2 a.m. And so we would go to this area, and it was just a total melting pot of different cultures.
Really?
Like, one of the bars would be Argentina, one would be Brazil, one would be Netherlands, I guess wasn't in the tournament, but, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
There were 20 of these, like, some were already places, some were already bars, some they just kind of put up stands for.
Like street bars.
There was, like, some nightclubs, like, huge nightclubs that would just have the games on.
Just and for like the World Cup in general. Like these one specific games.
Well, like the nightclub and all that, the restaurants and bars, they already were there. They just kind of...
But like these tents and stuff, this was just going on for the World Cup.
Yeah, and it was kind of outside in this big open area. And it was unbelievable how many people were there at 2 a.m.
That's awesome.
And they were from all over the world.
That's awesome.
Like, I'll never forget when Brazil played Argentina. There was so many Chinese police officers there because those two countries, when they play soccer, do not like each other.
Right.
That they, like, we just went inside one of the clubs and we're like, we're not getting near that because it was, like, dangerous.
Yeah, no thanks.
There were thousands of people in, like,
that's
sardines.
So sick. I bet the atmosphere was electric.
At 2:30 in the morning.
That's awesome.
Like, insane.
And like on the for the NFL,
but like think about how like crazy that is. I'm sorry to interrupt. But
no.
In China, which I guess Beijing's big city, but in China there were so many Brazilians and Argentinians and
that's crazy.
People from all over the world that there were probably close to 10,000 people like in this area at 2:30 in the morning watching a like group stage game or like round of 16 game.
And like I can't speak because I've never been to China, but China's not notoriously like a soccer powerhouse.
No, they're not.
And that's crazy that many people were just all like congregated for that one thing
in one part of the world.
And you will not see that anywhere here.
No.
I mean, maybe BPV for like a USA World Cup game.
Yeah, if the USA's playing.
But just because the World Cup's on, streets aren't blocked off.
No.
Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah. The whole area around this place was blocked off.
That's awesome.
I couldn't drive, couldn't get a taxi, couldn't do anything.
And what I was going to say, like, so there's like those few, like on Sundays for like Red Zone, if I get up and it's noon, I'm not jumping out of bed to get to my couch to watch football. Like, if I get to my couch at 12:30, 12:45 and I miss like the first like half of games, I'm like, whatever, like I don't care. But like on the exact same thing with soccer, like you do it, and like we both have so many friends that'll get up at 5, 6, 7 in the morning on Saturdays just to watch their team play, their soccer team play.
I can't say I do it all the time.
But you do it.
Yeah, those 6:30 games are tough.
You've done it.
Yeah, I have. And it's like you just kind of roll out of bed and you just turn it on. You're like kind of half asleep, kind of not, but then. So yeah, I gotta see what's going on here.
But like, if the Browns are playing at 6:30, you might have to pay me to watch that game.
Yeah, and it's just like a random game in October that doesn't mean anything.
Right, like it's so nuts. And people are like, yeah, like soccer, and it's like, no, you don't have respect for the sport.
And that's why I have so many friends like that watch soccer all the time. So that's why on that statistic I was slightly hesitant because the Champions League final is a big deal.
Champions League final. We watched that. I watched it on my phone at the lake. That was kind of shitty, but I mean, I can't complain about the lake.
Right.
Champions League final viewership.
So that's why I was somewhat skeptical of that graph that we were looking at earlier because I just have a hard time believing that.
There you go. Only 3.6 million in the U.S.
That's crazy.
That is so low.
That's wild. So 100 times more people watch the Super Bowl. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but that's crazy.
30 times.
It's also at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Like on a Sunday, it's not like
it was. It was like 2:00 on a Saturday, like Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it was a Saturday. Yeah, you should do it like late.
Or maybe it was Sunday. It was
late
Memorial
May.
I remember it was Memorial Day weekend because I was at the lake for whatever holiday that was. I was watching my phone at a bar.
Yeah, that was one of the lowest days I've had as a sports fan.
City lost to Chelsea, your brother's team.
Yeah, I was with him up in Oregon.
It's a real kick in the dick.
Yeah, we were at a bar. We were the only people there.
Really? Like in general, or like the only people watching the game?
No, we were the only people there.
That's funny.
And I mean, it wasn't like anything. It was just like a random time to be at a bar.
Right. 2:00 on a Sunday.
Yeah, and I was with my cousins, and Brendan was there, and Emily. And yeah, there was a big table full of us, and I spent the entire second half because we were losing in the complete other end of the bar, watching it on a TV probably this size, like 10 feet in the air.
To not deal with Charlie.
Or
because you were just so stressed out.
I was so stressed out, and I didn't want my true colors to be shown.
That's fair.
In front of people that I respect and care about. So I was just kind of
some good awareness.
It was so bad. And then once the final whistle blew, I just went to the bathroom for like 20 minutes and just kind of let Charlie mush in his victory and came out and was like, yep.
Why do you think you're that way with soccer? Because, like, even if the Rams are still here, like, you would not care that much if the Rams were to lose the Super Bowl. Or if the Ravens were to lose the Super Bowl, like, you wouldn't care that much.
No, not at all.
And, like, you played soccer in high school for, like, a year, didn't you?
Yeah, 2 years. It wasn't great.
But you've been a City fan since that one game that you've always told me about.
2012.
So where do you think this, why? How?
I don't know. I think there's something in that I know a few other people that support City, but like it's not like Manchester United where I could literally list you 15 people that I know personally that support them. Mm-hmm. I think that has a big factor of it. I think the duration of the tournament and the season, it starts in August and ends
in a long season. It's like baseball.
In May. Yeah. So it's kind of like this pent up, I don't know, support. It all comes down to one game. Like, you spend this entire 9 months watching this tournament unfold, and then it all comes down to one game, and if you don't bring your game, then you lose.
I love, the thing that I love about soccer is the aggregate. I love the aggregate, and it makes so much sense. But I do respect how the final game is one game.
Yeah, I do too.
Because that would be a huge disadvantage for that second game for the away team.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's a 2-point swing.
Yeah.
So I do dig that and respect to that. But I think the aggregate is, I'm sure, I can't name them, but I'm sure there's pros and cons. But I love, and like the away goal thing, aren't they changing that?
They got rid of it, yeah.
Really? Like for this year, this new year?
I think it'll be implemented next year. I don't know if that's true.
So it wasn't that an away goal counts as 2.
No.
It's like if there
was a tiebreaker,
right?
Essentially.
So if it was 5-5, but it's not that they had an away goal, it's if they had more away goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who had the most away goals if...
It's like 5-5 aggregate.
Yeah.
I dig that. I really dig that. And that's, if you're playing a series...
It's pretty lame.
That they got rid of it?
No. I think just the away goals ideation in general is pretty lame.
Oh, that's fair.
I think if it ends 5-5 in aggregate, then you should... Like, if you win 3-2 and then 3-2 the other way, like...
That's a tie.
Yeah, that's a tie. You should go to extra time and duke it out.
Oh, see, I like that. I didn't even think that's where it was going to go. Is that how it's going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
If it's tied on aggregate, they're going to go to extra time and then PKs.
For PKs? Wow. Is this just for Champions League?
Yeah.
Or is this across the FIFA board?
No, the Champions League is really the only tournament that's kind of structured like that.
Because all the other ones are one and done.
Yeah. No, some of the League Cups, like the FA Cup, they do one away, one home. So I bet they're going to do away with that as well.
That's sick. So there's going to be some really dope shootouts then.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that away goal thing had a huge...
You know what I watched recently, which was one of the coolest moments? I just think soccer, there's so much passion in it.
There is. And the fans are unlike anything.
Unlike anything.
Like, if you think Bill's Mafia is crazy, go watch a soccer game.
I think the international aspect of it is also really cool. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the fact that some teams can field 11 players from 11 different countries around the world is a cool thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is cool. Not how many Alabama defensive players are on this one team, right?
And I feel like it kind of says something that the NFL is only in the United States. Like, there's Arena Football League and the CFL. And I think Europe tried to do something at one point, but it's not the NFL. And, like, it's never – and, like, I think – I was reading an article the other day. I think that soccer is really going to take off here in the next 10 years.
I don't think so.
Really? Why?
And there's too much money in NFL and MLB
and
NBA.
I think
there's too much competition.
I think that if the MLB doesn't pick their shit up, that soccer's going to take it over.
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
We'll see.
I hope that's the case. I don't think it will be.
I would way rather go. I can't wait for this City team.
See, I'm not that pumped about it.
I just want to go to soccer games. I've never been like a pro soccer game.
They're really fun.
I know. I've heard, and I can't imagine. And
but
like, City's pro or semi-pro? Are they pro?
What, St. Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be MLS next 2023.
I've never even been to that, and that doesn't even compare to any game overseas.
Yeah.
And like, have you ever been to like a sporting game or anything like that?
Yeah, I have.
I've heard those are sick.
Yeah. Only went because there were some guys that were playing on New York City that were legends in Europe and just came over and kind of retired.
Who?
Andre Pirlo and David Villa.
Oh, I know Villa.
Yeah, we're on the team at the time, and that's the reason that we went.
Really?
And then so that's kind of like what the MLS has kind of become, is like watch these old guys who used to be legends, I guess still are legends, come over and retire and make a fuck ton of money and just.
So what NBA players do in China.
Yeah.
Which, hey, go get your bag.
Right.
I'm not knocking it for a second.
I mean, soccer players do that too. They pay him unbelievable amount of money to go over and play in China.
Zlatan was in LA. He made a killing.
Yeah, now he's back in Europe.
Yeah, like why not?
I mean, Rooney came over. Everyone. I mean, I'm sure that Messi and Ronaldo will come.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I bet they do. I bet they go to Miami or LA.
I was about to say, because what's his face was in Miami.
David Beckham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be so for that. The
MLS is just, it's like watching AAA baseball instead of the MLB. Like, why would you, if there's better baseball on, then why wouldn't you watch the better players?
Have you thought about why you think that the MLS, because like with the advancement that the United States has just in like sports and technology and like healthcare in general, like the advancement that we have over like the general population of the world, why do you think that our soccer's lacking?
Because there's other alternatives that make more money,
but that's
so to speak.
That's what I've been thinking about football, is like youth football has taken like a hockey stick decline in the past 10 years.
Well, yeah, because that's all the CTE stuff.
Right. And like it's one thing with the NFL, they can pump shitloads of money in it, but if there's no kids playing, they're really going to be struggling. The NFL's never going to struggle for players. Like, all go out there and strap up, for fuck's sake.
Well, and it's just crazy when you think about like the jabroni who responded to your tweet saying that soccer is the poor sport, which it is. And you think about underprivileged, poor communities in big cities, why aren't they playing soccer? They should be.
That's why, like, because it's literally a ball in a square.
But they idolize, I don't know who they idolize, but they look at LeBron James and these NBA players to make a 15-man roster on 32 teams. I mean, it's a numbers game at that point.
Something like that, yeah.
Same with the NFL.
It's like I can.
It's like less than 1% of college athletes make it to the pro level.
I can't speak for other sports, but I was about to say it's like 1% of high school football players make it to the D1 level, and like 1% of D1 athletes make it to the NFL.
And
then another 1%
soccer teams.
start.
You know how many soccer teams there are?
Shitloads.
There's 9 divisions in England alone.
If you're to guess,
Top flight.
What's that?
Top flight's like Premier League's 1, EFL's 2. So like there's probably 8 top flight divisions in England alone. Like there's 3 Bundesligas.
According to FIFA's professional football report published in 2019, there were at least 3,900 professional clubs in existence involved within 201 considered countries. And we have 32 NFL teams.
Yeah. And it's like, how do you look at that and be like, okay, the numbers are way better there. So you do 4,000, let's round.
Yeah, 4,000 teams.
Times, an active roster probably has 25, 30 players on it.
That's fair.
That's a lot more open spots. It's crazy. And I wish it was more glamorized. I
agree. It's so much fun to watch.
It's crazy.
It's so much
back
fun
to what I was saying. I watched the Barcelona PSG Champions League game from 2017. Unbelievable game. I watched the highlights and they're like 20 minutes long, and I was like, man, I can't believe this is real. Like this really happened.
I'm gonna watch that after this.
That
sounds so dope.
It was so crazy.
Because that was probably Neymar, Messi, and what's his face?
Suarez.
And then Zlatan and what's his face on Di Maria on PSG, right? Mm-hmm. Man, I bet that was sick.
PSG won the first leg at home 4-0. And then the second leg,
I remember this.
Barcelona won at home 6-1.
I remember that.
So the aggregate,
the last 2 or 3 goals in like the last 5 minutes or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was insane.
What was that for? The semifinal? Quarterfinal?
Yeah, it was definitely in the knockout stages. I don't remember what.
That's insane.
You see that? Mine's charging. Yeah, crazy.
If it's
And PSG would have advanced on away goals because they won 4-0 at home. So Barcelona had no away goals. And then PSG just got some random goal in like the second half. And so they were winning on aggregate. And then they were tied on aggregate, and they still would have gone through on the away goals rule.
They had 4.
They had 1. They had 1. It was like
4-1 at home.
Yeah, it was like 5-1, and so the aggregate was then 5-5, and PSG would have advanced because of that 1 away goal.
Man.
And then Barcelona scored in like the 93rd minute.
That's wicked.
To make it 6-1. So crazy.
That's awesome.
It's just like crazy shit like that.
And that's the thing, like. I'm sorry, I keep relating all this to football, but for me it helps, and I'm sure people here watch football. But I saw the other day, so all those stadiums, like the stadiums that I toured, like when I went to Camp Nou, the one they're adding on to, New Camp Nou, was going from like 98,000 people to like 112,000 people, like stage like 4 or 5, whatever, of their building process. And Joe Burrow came out, well, he said in like week 5 or something like that, or week 6. He was like, none of these NFL stadiums like really compare in the noise level to the SEC. And then someone quote tweeted it about Arrowhead. He was like, well, clearly he's never played in Arrowhead. And then someone quote tweeted that saying Arrowhead's capacity would be 9th in the SEC. And I was like, God damn.
Wow.
That's crazy.
We just love football.
Yeah, but like thinking about that, it's like Arrowhead's capacity is probably like 80,000.
No clue.
I don't either. So, and that's 9th in the SEC. Arrowhead capacity 76,000. There you go.
Close.
And that's 9th in the SEC. And all of the good soccer teams have stadiums that are fitting at least 80,000 people.
Easily. And what really bugs me too is that they call it football, and we don't.
I know. What's that about?
It really bothers
Where'd
me.
soccer come from?
No idea.
I've always wondered that. American football, of the word soccer. The word soccer comes from the use of the term association football in Britain. It goes back 200 years. In the early 1800s, a bunch of British universities took football, a medieval game, and started playing their own version of it under different rules. Association football became soccer. Wow, that was such a dumb...
Yeah, that was really dumb. So there's this video.
So anticlimactic.
Man City's right back. His name's Kyle Walker.
Nice.
There's he's getting interviewed, and I guess it was for like a North America exclusive like post or whatever. And they're like, what position do you play in soccer? He's like, I won't say that. He wouldn't answer
unless I said football.
He's like, I don't say that word. He like refused the question. It was like an interview with like some PR people from Man City or whatever. That's awesome. And he was just like dead serious. He's like, nah,
I'm not giving you the time of day for that one.
Nah, next question.
Good for him. Good on him.
It's so funny, dude.
I love that. And like when I again going back to that passionate thing, like literally like our local friends, the friends that I know, I don't even want to get into like levels of passion, but that I'm aware that they have a favorite soccer team. Like, if I know you and I know you like City, or I know you like Chelsea, or I know you like the Spurs, if I know that, that means I know you really like soccer and you probably watch them.
Yeah.
And like going back to the passion thing, like if you were to ask any of these random people that I know, what's up with the Spurs right now, that one person could go on for 30 minutes about it. Yeah. And like Noah and Charlie with Arsenal. Like if I was like if I'll see something on Twitter about, I don't even know what's going on, and I'll just see something about Arsenal, and I'll say, like, what the fuck's up with Arsenal? And they'll just go on an hour-long tangent of all this stuff. And I'm like, you guys really like this.
Yeah. And I could do that. I mean, one of your questions was something that you're super knowledgeable about.
Yeah, something you don't get to brag a lot about.
I don't like to brag.
What is something that you're proud of but do not get to brag about much?
That was not the answer.
And then the next one is, what is something you know a ton about?
Soccer. Football.
Like
even... like all my social media is consumed with soccer. It's like, it's what I care about. I don't know why. It's just like I
That's so interesting.
Like everything that's going on in like the top 5 leagues in Europe.
It's funny because like let's say like last weekend, me, you, Noah, whoever, Jim kicking it. And like when you and Noah start talking soccer, it's literally like a foreign language to me. I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
And you start naming players, this, that, and the other, how they did this, how they should have played this. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. There's just so much. There's so much depth to it. I think
there is. There's tons and tons.
Each league. So let's use the top 5 leagues in Europe. Essentially, Italy, Germany, France, Spain, England.
Okay.
Each league has 20 teams in it. There's 100 teams right there. Each team has 25 players on it. Mm-hmm. And like I couldn't.
Quick math.
I couldn't name you. All the teams.
I want to know that. So say that all again. There's 5 big countries.
Yeah, that's just the big 5, the top 5.
So 5, and you said there's 8 leagues. Or what'd you say? There's 8 teams.
20 teams
in
each league. So that's 100 teams.
Yeah.
There's, I want to say they're 25-man rosters.
Times 25, it's 2,500 players. I think there's like 4,000 in the NFL, 5,000 in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's just in the top flight of the biggest 5.
Right.
I mean, then you go to what's dope about the Champions League is it's all Europe. It's all of the European countries and their top flight teams.
I love that. I love that about soccer because like what you were saying about Bama, like it is so crazy how the best team in England or the best team in Spain just has this dog from Brazil. Mm-hmm. Like that is so cool to me.
Yeah.
Like how they find them, how he gets over there, that's a whole different story. But I think it is so cool that they'll find these kids from literally the corner of the earth and they become superstars.
Look up FC Sheriff. I want to say they're like
a cop sheriff?
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Their badge is literally a sheriff. Yeah. Where are they from?
Tiraspol? That looks like Russia. Is a Moldovan professional football club based in Tiraspol, a city located in the unrecognized breakaway state of Transnistria. Dude, what the fuck?
This team qualified for the Champions League this year.
What?
Beat Real Madrid at Real Madrid.
Hey, good for them.
Right? Like,
Is this the new team? Is this the new team? Let's see. Yep, right there. 2021-2022 Champions League.
Moldovan side. Yeah, so crazy. And, like, that kind of stuff just, like, doesn't happen.
No, that's so cool. Dude, Andy, shout out Andy. That was one of the kids I'll use as an example if he's a big Spurs fan. But I remember
that sucks. Sorry, Andy.
I remember him telling me, and I don't think the word like nuance sounds right, but I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. He was telling me like with this city team that's coming, he was breaking down this like crazy way of like if they win their league and then win a tournament and then place in that tournament, there's like a chance where they can play competitively against like Real and stuff like that.
Who? St. Louis?
Yeah.
No.
There's like something going on there. Or maybe it was the
CONCACAF Champions League?
Maybe.
That's a thing, and that's
North
a joke.
America and South America.
Yeah, it's CONCACAF.
I don't remember what he was saying. He was breaking down if they won something and placed something and did this, they could like play competitively against some other crazy team. I could text him and he could probably break it down.
The Real Madrids and the Bayern Munichs and the Barcelonas, they come over here on their like in the middle of the summer.
Well, I guess that wouldn't make sense why they would play them.
No, they would never play them.
That didn't make sense. No. I don't know what it was. I'll have to text him to find out. And if you listen to this, you'll text me.
No, they do what's called a CONCACAF Champions League because Champions League, the big one, is just Europe.
What's CONCACAF?
CONCACAF is the governing body of North and Central America. Like what USA played El Salvador tonight in a World Cup qualifier. So we're in a pool of 8 other CONCACAF teams to qualify for the World Cup because we're in our own little bubble, essentially.
Right.
So CONCACAF is like we've got our own little competitions and things that we do just between North and Central America. South America's got their own thing. Europe's got their own thing. Africa's got their own thing. Asia's got their own thing.
So if you win CONCACAF, what could you do?
You qualify for the World Cup. But within CONCACAF, there's like the Gold Cup, They do. I mean, they just have these dumb little rinky-dink tournaments that mean something, but not really in the grand scheme of things.
I wonder what it was that you was telling me about.
Yeah, there's no situation that any MLS team would play any European club team that would mean anything.
That makes sense.
Other than ticket sales. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but at the same time, if we were to go over there, like you take the best MLS team and go and play
the All-Star team.
No, just any MLS team. Let's use Kansas City, Sporting KC.
Sure.
If they went over and played, middle of the table Spanish league team, they'd probably get worked. I'm serious.
I know you are. It's just it's hilarious.
If they played like Real Betis, they would probably lose like 4 or 5-0, I think. I mean,
that's probably fair. I mean, it'd be like a Canadian team playing an NFL team.
Exactly. I mean, and that's kind of That's kind of my position on the MLS. It's like, why would you watch like subpar teams when you can just watch the better teams?
I like that.
Yeah, and it's just like I haven't really given it much time.
Why would you get Taco Bell when you get Sol Taco?
And they also like don't do their schedule the same as everywhere else in the world.
What do you mean?
Like their season
time of year?
Yeah, their season starts in like March or like April or something, and then goes until October or like
literally
November. Yeah, it's like just do it the same way that they're doing it.
Well, that's probably why they don't.
Well, it's dumb.
Because if they didn't, they'd probably literally get 1,000 viewers.
But it's a time of day situation because they're playing, like you said, it's 6:30 in the morning.
Right.
Because over there it's noon.
Right.
But here they're gonna play at 6:30, 7. Like, why not? I mean,
one of the things I had on here was if you want to shout out something or plug something, what would it be? For anyone that's listening to this, and if you're a soccer fan, I'd like to shout out the Amsterdam Tavern down by Tower Grove, the soccer bar.
Place is sweet.
That place is absolutely electric. If you want to watch any soccer game ever, literally at 2:00 on a Wednesday, there's 150 people there all watching the same game, and it's only soccer.
Yeah,
it's awesome. The first time I went there, I bought a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
a really good spot.
I love it, and I could walk there from work. It's like 1.1 miles from my work. It's incredible.
There should be more places like that.
I agree, and we tried to go there for the
Euro final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a line, probably 100 people out the door at 10:30 in the morning on a Sunday.
Because there's nowhere else to go.
And talk about passion. Those people are ready to get after it.
Well, if there was another place to go, people would go there.
Right.
They're just, I mean, to my knowledge at least.
You could do BPV, but it's not.
It's not. Maybe they had it on. I bet they did.
But if you go to BPV, like the people that are there, let's say it's 2:00 on a Saturday. So I
think it was a Sunday.
Yeah, but let's say it was 2:00 on a Saturday, and if you were to go to BPV at 2:00 on a Saturday, there'd be a lot of people there. But if you were to go there to watch that game, maybe 10% of the people that were at BPV would be there for that game.
I'd say half.
Yeah, but
depending on the nature of the game,
right?
That was a big game.
But at Amsterdam, it's shoulder to shoulder. When there's a goal score, beers are getting thrown.
Yeah,
the place is awesome.
Yeah, it's really sweet. It's a good spot.
I wish we'd go there more. It's the 2:00 on a Wednesday.
Yeah, but that's got to be the most fun time.
Yeah, I did it a few times.
I know.
If they were
I can't with work.
Right, and none of us can.
Right.
But even if they were what would be awesome? Yeah, FIFA. If you ever listen to this, switch up your game times. But if it was Thursday at 4:00, so we could do a happy hour in Amsterdam watching.
No, because they got to do prime time over in Europe because clearly no one watches it over here.
My bad.
3.5 million people watch Champions League final. That's crazy to me.
That's a dull game over there. Dude, if the NFL had a game that only 3.5 million people watch, they'd be sounding the alarms.
You think that many people watch the Texans and the Jaguars? I don't think so.
For regional, probably.
You think so? I guess Houston's fucking huge.
If that's your regional game.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville's got 10 million people in it.
Yeah, Jacksonville's huge too.
Yeah, and if you're in the southeastern part of the country, that's probably the game you're getting, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching the other nationally televised game.
Right.
But still, I don't know.
I don't know either.
What'd you bring? You mean just rattle some of these off so people can...
What did I bring? I didn't bring anything.
What topics you bring?
Nothing. I was just going to fire the same question back at you so you could have a chance to talk.
Okay. Do you want to do the 5 questions I have for everybody?
After I go to the bathroom. Man, that really sucks that Andy Hoover's a Spurs fan.
I'd love to get you two at a bar together sometime.
Oh, my God.
Actually...
it wouldn't even be like a conversation because he just has no ammo.
The first time that I introduced him and Noah to each other, I was like, my buddy Andy, my better Noah. They're like, what's up? And I literally go, Dortmund fan, Spurs fan. And like, I was pretty much ejected from the conversation. And then I just kind of like sat there and listened to them for like 40 minutes, just go at each other's throats. It was awesome.
Yeah. When it's like once you get the ball rolling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to stop.
Yeah, and I saw the fire burn and I was like, hey, go at it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's fire off some of these questions.
Okay. Hit me.
Yeah. Sorry, people. These are just like a bunch of bullshit questions. I think it'd be fun to ask people. So, like, let's say you're on death row, or like if you were to have your ideal day planned out with your favorite meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with a dessert and a drink, what would it be?
See, I interpret this question as a standard run-of-the-mill day, not my last day.
Nope. What are your 3 favorite meals? Like, as an example, I would do, like, breakfast, I would do, like, the breakfast burrito from Room 38, or, like, a really, really mean breakfast pizza. Lunch would probably be, like, some fucking, like, dank Mexican, like, super dank Mexican.
Yeah, and that's where I went, too.
And then dinner would be, like a ribeye with, like, pristine mashed potatoes and some red wine.
Yeah. I don't really like breakfast a whole lot. Mm-hmm. Like, my day-to-day breakfast usually consists of a protein bar, and if I'm feeling crazy, I'll make a smoothie.
Sure. That's okay.
That's just what I do. I don't really
Let's say you go to brunch, what are you ordering?
Eggs Benedict.
Okay, see, there you go.
That would be if I was my last day.
Would you want, like, smoked salmon or anything with it?
Nope, straight up.
I did that one time. I didn't really like it. I like smoked salmon, but it's too much.
You got a good thing. Don't mix it up. I hate those places that are like, oh, we have 17 different Eggs Benedict. It's like, no, you should have one and make it really good.
Do this one right.
Yeah.
So what about lunch? Or does it, like, interchange lunch and dinner? Like, that doesn't matter.
I mean, I think I agree with you with, like, a really dank Mexican joint.
Like tacos or enchiladas or just like a plate of rice and like really good chicken and peppers and beans.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't know.
It's all so good.
Yeah. It would have to probably be like seafood based. Like, we got on the topic the other night of seafood and crawfish. Like,
hell yeah.
Well done, boiled,
hell yeah,
seasoned, spicy crawfish. It's tough to beat.
I agree.
But on that same note, like, if we're gonna go seafood, you gotta go like lobster and like you gotta.
How do you feel about crab?
It's amazing.
I like it. I don't think it's worth the effort.
Then don't eat it.
I don't order it, and people give me crab. Like Britt loves, like literally, like her death row.
People who say that really piss me off.
What? That it's not worth the effort?
Yeah.
Dude, I can't.
Then don't order it.
I don't. I never have. Like that's like
Britt's, it pisses me off so much. I'm like
yeah, literally just don't get it.
Then don't get it.
She always gives them. She'll give me like one, and I'm like, thanks, but like, I'm about to spend 10 minutes cracking this thing open for like maybe half an ounce of meat. Like, hey, it's dank. It's super. Like, I'm not downplaying that it is good.
I think there's 2 sides of the coin there. You either think that it's obnoxious that you have to go through all that effort, or you enjoy it and you're good at it, so you know how to do it. Yeah,
that's fair.
And
have you been to Peacemaker? Shout out Peacemaker.
Yeah, I don't. Really? I'm not a big lobster roll guy.
Oh, I love lobster rolls.
I just like, and I think obviously Peacemaker's insane, but I just think for what it's worth, like when you're in St. Louis, it's tough to like.
That's fair. Because you're paying like $40 a roll
easily for frozen.
Right.
It has to be frozen. There's no
they say
God's green earth that
they say they fly their stuff in every day, which I like to believe they do, and that would
I have a hard time believing that.
That would warrant the $45. But if they're getting their stuff in, like let's say once a week, you better not be charging me $45 a lobster roll.
Yeah,
I've literally it's like $40 for a hot dog size thing.
Not even that big of a bun.
Speaking of which, hot dogs.
Oh my gosh. Let's get into it right now.
Oh shit.
Let's get into it right now.
Okay, fuck it. Yeah. So
can you pull up that picture I sent?
Yeah, I can actually. So I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna post all these pictures. For those of you that don't know, I got dead last in my fantasy football league this year. Dear. In one of my fantasy football leagues this year. Dear. And our punishment that we agreed upon was that we have to do the Joey Chestnut challenge, which means in a week you have to eat the number of hot dogs that he ate in 10 minutes. Oh, it wasn't that. It was the other one. And he ate 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. So in 7 days, I have to eat. And our league is pro bun. And so in 7 days, I have to eat 76 hot dogs with bun.
It is one of the funniest things.
And Davis just so happened to have a chili day at work the other day. And dude, I did a rough count. Like, I'm posting this picture. I don't know if you can see it on there. I'm gonna do like a whole doc. Like, I'm gonna fucking record all of this. And like day 6, me throwing up, people are seeing it.
Yeah.
I did a rough count. That's about 75 hot dogs, dude.
That was my first instinct when I saw that at work. I was like, this has got to be close to the number that Jack has to eat.
Dude, that's so gross, man.
It's so gross.
Oh, and then you sent a picture of the buns, and it's like a month worth of buns.
There were 10 packs of buns there.
Dude, you want to get into it? I don't know. So that's about 11. It's 10.6 hot dogs a day.
So
hot dogs a day.
I don't really like hot dogs. I'm not a big hot dog guy at all.
I'll eat one at a baseball game.
I won't. I'll get nachos.
Fair. Keep going.
But I had one this week at work, just to just to get a little taste of what you're gonna go through. And I was like, I don't like get grossed out by stuff all that often, but like
hot dogs are nasty.
There was like boiled hot dogs in a crock pot. I was like, this is just gross.
I've never eaten a boiled one. That's disgusting.
I mean, it wasn't boiled, but it was just like cooking in a hot pot with water at the bottom. I was like,
gross.
Yeah, it was just gross.
Did you ever?
I didn't even finish it. I threw half of it away.
Did you?
You have to do that
76 times.
Yeah.
But also, I'm gonna buy high quality wieners.
I was going to say you buy low quality.
Oh, just to get them down?
Just get them down.
I'm so nervous about work.
Dude, I don't know what you do. Like, you're going to stink.
I'm going to stink.
You're going to sweat and smell like hot dogs.
My bowels are going to be out of control.
I was kind of joking about the laxatives comment.
I almost need something that makes me constipated.
No.
Dude, because
other way. I think you have to get them out to clear your stomach.
But like, if I'm eating 5 hot dogs for lunch at work, I don't want people hearing that.
I mean, you're going to have to explain the situation to people.
Dude. And like, if I walk in on Monday and we have a toaster oven and they just see 5 hot dogs cooking, they're going to have some real questions.
I mean, you're going to have to explain it to them.
I told my dad this and I thought he was going to disown me.
It is... I told people last night at the SLU basketball game.
Dude, it's a whole...
We all laughed at you.
Good. Dude.
I mean, it is one of the funniest fantasy football punishments I've ever heard.
And of course it happens to me.
I know. And you have done, I mean, going back to our original first podcast when we talked about fantasy for the last, last half of the
hours into it.
You put so much effort into it.
So
it's not like you just like didn't try, like didn't care. Every week, even the draft, like you were in it and you lost.
I was 0-7 and I still thought I had a shot. And that's the thing. We didn't have a punishment going into the season, but like we were adamant that we were going to get one. And someone suggested this. I could probably go back and find it. Someone suggested that this be the thing. And I was like, none of us are getting tattoos. None of you are down to shave your head.
Yeah, no.
None of us want to get on a bus and go 10 hours.
Yeah, that's all too much.
And like me and Evan, I hope you hear this. Me and Evan were tied for last. He was like, I think we were both 1-7. Because we were both 0-7 and we played each other. And he beat me. And I needed Derrick Henry to get 4 rushing yards and I would have beat him. I remember this. and he went 1-7. And going into that week, I was like, listen, I'm in last place, and I agree to this. I don't think I'm getting last because I thought my team was solid, and then Derrick Henry got injured. And I was like, I'll agree to this. And everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. And then the fucking season went on, and I got body bagged.
You and Charlie talked about on your podcast about you don't feel sorry for people that dig their own graves.
Yep.
When you started at 1-7 and you agreed to that, now I really don't feel bad for you. I didn't feel bad for you to begin with because you were my best friend, and I think it's fucking hilarious.
It's so funny.
But now, after hearing that, I really don't feel bad for you.
No.
And especially laughing at you, I really don't feel bad because you agreed to this.
It's
at 1-7.
At 1-7.
You had a very, very high probability that it was going to be you halfway through the season.
Yes. More than halfway through the season.
Yeah. So...
No, and like I agree 100%, and I don't want people to feel bad for me because it is hilarious.
I know, but there's a little part of me that's like, okay, I'm laughing at him too much. But now, after hearing that, no, that is the wrong.
Like you saw those hot dogs, you're probably pissing your pants laughing. Dude.
I had the most fun hour of work ever texting you.
Visual representation of how many hot dogs Jack will be eating in a week.
That is so many.
Dude, I'm laughing so hard right now. So my thought process was like this,
what was your initial reaction when I sent that picture to you?
I dropped my phone on my desk. I couldn't believe it.
Like put your hands in your head like
yeah, I couldn't believe it because who has seen 76 hot dogs?
That's amazing.
Name one thing you've seen 76 of. Legos maybe.
Yeah.
Like ice cubes, Q-tips. Not many people have seen 76 hot dogs in a bowl.
In a bowl like that, like all just kind of staring at you.
And so, like, my thing.
Man, they even look gross.
Yeah, they look disgusting. I mean, it's just like bologna that you're cooking in a tube.
Oh, God, bologna sucks.
I love bologna.
Yeah, you're a weirdo.
Whatever. My thing was, like, this league, like, you have a league that I take the most seriously. We've had this league for like 10 years or something like that, and we've never done a punishment. And I was like, if we don't set one now,
it'll never be done.
No one's ever going to do it.
Well, now you set the standard, right?
Right.
You have to do it.
And I did it, and now from here on out.
Well, you haven't done it yet.
I haven't. I'm going to. I also declared the other day that I'm going to do it before the football season ends.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I've got, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
You should do it. You should do it after.
Because
you should do it Monday after championship.
Yeah,
Sunday, because there's a lull in games.
There's that. There's next week, and then there's the Pro Bowl, and then I think there's a week.
Dude, because you're not going to want to do it Super Bowl week.
I know.
Because then you're going to be on Super Bowl Sunday being like, fuck, I still have to eat 10 more hot dogs. And it's going to ruin your Super Bowl because you're going to
throw up.
Yeah. Because that'll be your final day, and you're going to be like, you're going to be depressed.
But also, like, in the same thing, like, I like that precedent. Like, if you get last, like, let's say Joey Chestnut retires, whatever, and, like, the next dude eats 50 hot dogs, so next year the guy has to eat 50 hot dogs, you have to do it by the time the football season's over.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could mix up the food you eat, but I guess that's amongst you all to decide.
I like the hot dogs, though. It's hilarious.
You're not going to like hot dogs.
No, I'm going to hate them. But I'm also going to, I'm going to get some, like, diced red onions, some jalapeno, some, like, ground, like.
Whatever helps you sleep at
night. Mustard. I'm not going to be sleeping.
Dude, you're going to. It's actually going to be interesting to see how your body and mind react to this. Because I am laughing at you as your friend, but also slightly concerned for your mental and physical health.
Because the nutritional content is not there.
I know, but I'm more worried about your mental health and like
hot dog.
I mean, you see these guys, crushing hot dogs for a tournament on 4th of July, but
so apparently
you should just not do this.
Apparently there's 186 calories, 7 grams of protein, 2 carbs, probably like fucking 15 grams of fat in one hot dog.
You're realistically, that's the only thing you're going to eat for a week.
2.2 carbs.
So you're going to have
13 grams of fat. Yep.
You're going to have to put veggies on top to supplement your diet.
Banana peppers, onions.
Yeah, some bell peppers.
Jalapenos.
I don't know what the skinniest hot dog is or like what the...
I don't know. I can't believe this. I can't believe you've done this.
So now that we're talking about it out loud, you're going to start Monday.
I think I should start Sunday.
You shouldn't start Sunday. You're going to want to watch the AFC Championship game with 12 hot dogs.
That's another thing. Do I knock out 20 first day?
I mean, you just get hammered drunk.
That's what I was saying. Just drink Sunday, just wolf hot dogs. You guys would be so disgusted watching
I wouldn't.
me do that.
I don't know if I'd hang out with you. You'd throw up at least a dozen times. If you were drinking all day and crushing hot dogs, you would throw up 10 times.
I did the rough math before this. Like I've done them at rough math. So roughly a hot dog is 151 calories in it, and a bun is like another 100 calories, give or take like 20. I think it's like maybe 120 calories. And so 10 hot dogs in a day, calorically, I'm at my limit. I'm at like the 2,000 calorie. So like literally.
You're going to have to go to the gym twice a day.
And like everything else I eat is pretty much just protein shakes just to keep my body functioning.
You're going to have to go work out minimally once a day.
Dude, I'm going to have to go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah. Or go on a run.
I'm just going to smell like hot dogs.
Yeah. You're going to reek. You're going to be a stinky man.
Whatever.
It's going to be hilarious. I think I'm going to come over every night.
All right, that's cool.
Just to watch you do it.
Do I start Monday?
Well,
I have to go grocery shopping.
I mean, if you don't do it Monday, then you are going to have to do it the following week. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be like Monday to Monday. Like it can be Wednesday to Wednesday.
It's just 7 days
in a row. But once you eat that first dog,
I'm in. I'm committed.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing. I'm not pussying out. I'm doing it.
And you're gonna want to sacrifice the weekend of the Pro Bowl when there's no game on.
True that.
You're not gonna want to sacrifice Super Bowl Sunday to eat 12 hot dogs or however many you have left that day, because you might get to a breaking point where you're like, fuck this, I can only do 4 today. And then they're going to kind of backlog on you.
Oh, no, dude. I have to do it next week because the following week is my physician appointment.
Yeah, that would be ideal. And be like, hey,
I'm 40 hot dogs deep.
I have to go home and eat 12 hot dogs.
Oh, no. So it would be like, let's say Sunday. Let's say Sunday for conversation.
Dude, you're not going to want to start Sunday. I say you start Monday morning.
31st.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything.
Go Sunday to Sunday.
I don't have anything the 1st. Groundhog Day is the 2nd. I don't have anything the 3rd. The 4th, shout out Jeff, is his birthday. I don't have anything the 5th. And the 6th, I got to pay my Spire bill.
Sounds like a good week to eat some dogs.
Sounds like a good week to eat some fucking hot dogs.
I mean, I'll come over and eat one in solidarity with you.
I'm going to be eating 5 hot dogs in front of Matt Vierling.
That's hilarious.
You think he'd eat one with me? Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a baseball guy.
Yeah. He'll appreciate it. Oh, God. Yeah.
Dude, yeah. You're just going to have to stay up late that night. You're having Matt on next week?
Monday. He committed.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm super pumped.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Oh, I'll tell you that question. Shout out Hunter. You'll probably... There's no way you're listening.
No, leave him. Leave him. Don't spoil.
Okay. I'll tell you after.
Yeah. Or just tell me now. I don't give a fuck.
Dansby. I don't remember his first name. Some guy, Dansby, that plays for the Braves. He went to Vanderbilt with Hunter, and somehow Hunter knew him, blah, 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 blah. He was saying you should ask Matt about the support system in the community between college and MLB, and like even going deeper than that, like Notre Dame as itself probably has an incredible support system just because of the school that it is.
Assuming.
Right. And like comparing that and like, let's say his coaches, his friends on the team, et cetera, going to the MLB that's, quote, a business, and like how they not treat him, but like how his experience is different from like the mentorship and the support system and just like stuff like that going from Notre Dame to the MLB, and how not specifically the Phillies, but just in general. And like how, like I'm not asking him if he has a mentor. She probably say if he will, it doesn't. If he does, it doesn't. But like how that changes going from like, quote, a tight-knit community on a college, because like college baseball team, it's probably pretty similar to your high school sports team. Like
yeah.
You're all boys. You hang out.
Do everything
talk
together.
to each other. And like you go to a new team, a professional team where no one knows anybody. You're just kind of on the team together. Like, I wonder how that works.
Yeah.
Because, like, you don't live in the same city. Like, he's here now. He's home. He's training here. Mm-hmm. And then he goes back and does whatever for the season, but he's only with them for the season. And it's not like he's hanging out with them getting beers in the off season unless they live here. unless he lives there. So I wonder that I'm not wondering, but he was like, in some way posed that question. I was like, that's a great question. It's actually a really good question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
And it would be interesting to hear because I mean, I haven't talked to any pro athletes. I don't know how any professional organization works.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole can of worms that we can unravel there, but I'm sure you've got a lot.
Yeah, we can't speak for it, but like, I would have never thought of that. And like, I literally, when we were playing Apex, I was like, got any questions off the rip? And like, immediately he's like, yeah, I do got one. I was like, oh, okay. Because I don't want to, sorry people for just spoiling it. I don't know, whatever. But like, I don't want to ask him like just bullshit questions like, oh, how'd you get to the MLB?
Right.
What's it like to be a Philly?
Yeah.
Just fuck that.
Well, and then I'd also, discover other topics.
Absolutely.
Because he's not just going to talk baseball for 2 hours.
But like, that's been like the whole thing. Is like, I have fucking 10 talking points and we're done with them in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And like, that's how, like, it's just flowing conversation.
Well, you had 10 talking points for us, and we've scraped the surface on one of them.
Right.
Literally.
Okay, another one. What are your thoughts on, so what I had written down, Jake Paul and Logan Paul and influencers in general?
Don't care for them at all.
Influencers or Jake and Logan?
Influencers.
How do you feel about this whole influencer thing that's going on?
Do your thing. I don't care.
I'm not going to knock anyone for getting their bag. And
I don't want to really waste my breath on Jake and Logan Paul.
No, we don't have to talk about that. But someone, I don't know.
Waste my breath is kind of harsh, but it's just
I agree. Fuck Jake Paul. But like, get your bag, and like, they're doing a damn good job at it. But like, this whole, like, whenever we watch football, all we say is, God, this commercial sucks. Like, this commercial blows. And like, the ads and stuff that the influencers are posting / running are like, literally, because that's why they're getting paid, are way more targeted and like way more, like, why aren't, I don't know. Do you know what I'm getting at here?
I think that's a way better question than what are your thoughts on Jake and Logan Paul? Because I have some like streamers and YouTubers that I enjoy watching.
Right.
And they definitely have like targeted ads.
Right.
And
for sure.
Because I have grown over the months, years, whatever, to watch them, not religiously, but regularly.
Consistent.
I definitely give more of a shit about the ads that they run, because I feel like most of them don't run ads that they don't support. And that's kind of I agree. I think Pardon My Take's kind of exception. They just run whatever they can.
Yeah, they got like mortgage ads and stuff.
Yeah, whoever's the highest bidder, they're going to run.
Again, get your bag.
Right. But, I mean, that's kind of an outlandish example because they're the biggest podcast in the world. But no, some of these YouTubers and stuff, like, there's like a handful that I kind of watch. And it's interesting to see, like, these companies that probably spend so much money to these people.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, to get some airtime.
Literally airtime.
Yeah.
Like, I actually, there's something I just came across. So, like, you always hear about how much it costs to run, like, a minute-long ad in the Super Bowl. And, like, I wonder.
It's because of the number of eyes. Right. We talked about earlier.
I wonder what the conversion is to, like, paying, like, Ronaldo to wear your underwear on his Instagram.
He's got his own underwear line.
Fucking, of course he does.
And he'll never do that.
He's got, like, what, 300 million people that follow him, something like that?
Yeah, he's the most followed person.
So do you think it's on the same, obviously, again, this is an outlier. It's the most, probably one of the most famous people in history. Do you think that the conversion rate, or not even, conversion rate, and, like, how much they pay him versus, like, running a Super Bowl ad? Like, I bet there's, like, serious talks of, like, hey, do we pay Ronaldo 5 ads or do we run a Super Bowl ad?
I don't think you can look up how much he gets paid per.
Because I remember seeing.
I think it's in, like, the 5 to 10 million zone for one post.
I agree. Well, let's see. How much is it to run a Super Bowl ad commercial? Sure. At 6 million, NBC. Nope. No, 6 million for 30 seconds. There you go.
All right, look up Ronaldo Instagram.
So that's 6 million for 30 seconds to roughly 100 million people. And he has 300 million followers. How much to run an ad with Ronaldo? Holy shit. Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Dwayne Johnson, and Kylie Jenner each earn more than $1 million a post. Cristiano Ronaldo has a shot to the top of Instagram's annual rich list of celebrities who can charge the most for sponsored posts, with a footballer able to command as much as 1.6 to endorse product. Wow. So there you go. Literally what we just said, 5 posts or a Super Bowl ad.
But the post never goes away.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
How many people go back and look through Ronaldo's Instagram all the time?
That's crazy.
30-second ad, that's gone
right
out of your memory.
If you didn't see
5 minutes later,
it's done.
Or if you just didn't see it.
If those 30 seconds, half the viewership took a bathroom break, sorry.
And that's also going back to how many people follow him around the world.
Right.
No one is watching the Super. I mean, people are obviously from around the world watching the Super Bowl, but
it's so crazy. It's so wild. And it's like, I always get so frustrated because like I see these influencers and I'm like, oh, it must be so easy. But then like one of Britt's friends, Kelsey, like when we hung out with her, like seeing what she does for quote work, and Kelsey, I'm not downplaying you, but like I was like you think that it's like so easy, like all they do is take pictures and post pictures. And then I was with her for like 5 days and I was like, that looks like fucking hell. Like the shit that she was having to run through and sort through and post and like set up to just do, I was like, this looks awful.
How many followers does she have?
I don't know, 500,000 maybe.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she was on an MTV show.
That's pretty substantial.
And she was a model for a while.
Good for her.
Yeah, Kelsey, you're awesome. Yeah, but it's like crazy. Like I don't know how much she gets paid for an ad. But like let's talk about like the micro level of like a 500,000. Like let's even say 100,000. Someone with 100,000 followers. Like they might get paid. So The Rock has 100 million followers. That's $1 million. So 100 to 1. So maybe she get like 100,000 followers, get $1,000 a post. I wonder like how, I don't know. I always get so mad because I'm like, fuck these influencers. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, if I had the chance, I totally would.
I mean, yeah. You just kind of find that niche. And if your niche is your body because you're good looking.
Right.
And a company says, hey, take a picture of yourself with this can of blank and we'll give you $500.
Sure.
Why would you not?
I would totally sell feet pics, 100%. Like, I don't know. I was thinking about it in the car today. I was like, fuck these influencers. But at the same time, I was like, it's his way. I don't know. Grass is always greener.
It's so crazy.
Okay, next. We don't need to talk about that.
Is this that's one of your 5 that you always want to ask people?
No. That was just something
I was about to say.
You gotta go back to your 5.
Remove that one.
How many 10-year-olds do you think you can take on?
I don't know. Do I have a weapon? That was my response.
So there's a two-part question.
Do I get a bat?
So 10-year-olds, like John, your brother.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If there was more than 5 of them, probably not that many.
Really? I think I would take on like 10.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you're underestimating how like much energy.
Yeah.
Like, and if they swarm you and get you to the ground.
I always thought that like I just punch one of them in the face, grab them by their feet, and do like a helicopter thing.
Yeah. See, that's like
that expends all your energy. Okay, you get a baseball bat.
Oh, dude.
See, I've thought about this though. Like,
but if they bull rush you, you can only hit one, or I mean, you can't.
Maybe 2.
Maybe. I mean, you'd probably kill them.
Yeah.
A hit to the head.
Right, but in this scenario,
they're zombie 10-year-olds.
Yeah, they don't have brains.
Okay. That makes it a little less bad. Thinking about my brother who's 11.
It's all good. It's all good. I think about my neighbors, so.
I mean, realistically, if they bull rush you and go for your legs and get you to the ground, I don't know how many you really could take, honestly, even if you have a weapon. Like if they're smart, which they're not because they're 10. Like they're not going to go at you one at a time like it's a video game fight.
No, they're jumping on you trying to get to the ground.
Yeah, they're all going to attack.
But also at the same time, like they're 10. Like they can't hurt me.
Yeah, they can.
But like they're not going to.
Yeah, they can. They can hit you below the belt.
True.
And you're down.
True.
Just like that. And then it doesn't matter what weapon you have because you got 10 little arms swinging at you.
I'd love to. That's so fucked up to say. I'd love to see a simulation of that. I wonder what it's actually at.
I can't imagine it's more than like 10.
Well,
I mean, unless you're like a big, beefy bodybuilder dude who's just got reach and can get them off of you.
Like Myles Garrett could probably take on like 10 or 15 barehanded.
Easily. But like me, I don't think I could take on 10 of my little brothers.
It's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of kids.
You ever babysat?
Yeah.
I babysat this one time for this holiday party one time, and there was like maybe 10 kids, like maybe 8 kids. And like, I don't know, they're like literally a range of ages between like 6 and 14. And they're like, they pretty much just shut the door to the basement, and I just had to keep these kids downstairs while the parents had a holiday party. And it was, to this day, one of the most miserable experiences I've ever had, because these kids were batshit. And there weren't even 10 of them. And on average, the age might have been 10. And I was like, no, I don't know.
Yeah, I think people would like to think they could take on a bunch of them, but in reality, I don't think so. I think the numbers set at like 6, over under 6.5, 6.5.
One kid's crawling away.
Yeah, because Jesus, I can't believe we're talking about this, but like,
it's a hilarious question.
I mean, it really is funny to think about. I mean, if you
just think about it in like a zombie video game,
you just have to go at one at a time and just get one out of there.
I'd be doing crazy fucking moves.
I mean, if you're, is it like an open space, or are we like in an octagon?
No, like a field.
Oh yeah. Well, then you could get some room between you.
Like a football field.
Yeah. And that changes things then.
An octagon, no, like 3 or 4.
Yeah. In an open field, total different ball
like
game.
You take after like 4, you take down, they come out from the ground.
So it's an endurance thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you're doing it in waves, that's a way different story. Again. But if it's all at once, you'd have to like run laps. You'd have to like run them.
No, because my endurance isn't there, dude. I'd just be going full brute strength, just punching them to their face.
I'd have to run around.
Stupid little fucking face.
You'd have to weed them out, because if they gang bust you all at once, then you're done. But if you run around to get like 4 of them alone, then you can.
I don't want to Google any of this because I feel like I'm going to be put on a list.
No, I think we should go to the next topic.
We were talking about earlier, the lottery, the American Daydream. I only buy tickets if I'm already going to the gas station and if the drawing amount is over $200 million.
How much money do you think you've spent on lottery tickets?
In my lifetime?
Mm-hmm.
Not even $100. Not even $50.
What do you think is the benefit? Is it that like what if scenario in your head?
Yeah, it's the American Daydream. That's literally the logo. That's the motto.
What are your thoughts about it being the poor man's tax?
It's exactly right.
Yeah,
but that's why I have a threshold. Because if I could go buy lottery tickets every day, I'd spend $1,000 last month. I have to be already going to the gas station for whatever, gas, water, Monster, whatever. I have to already be going. And it can't be $199 million. It has to be at least $200. And if it's not, I'm not buying one. Because that limits to me buying one like maybe once a month, something like that. And it's $2.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not spending $100 a month on lottery tickets. That's nonsense.
I get like scratchers and stuff for Christmas, my stocking.
Yeah, those are fun.
I get some at work sometimes, they're dumb little gifts. Every time I'm doing it, I'm like, this is so dumb.
Hilarious.
This is so dumb. And like, I don't even get my hopes up. Like, I don't know why I have this like weird resentment towards. I just think it's a really bullshit system.
It's a hilarious concept.
It's kind of fucked up.
Like the poor man's tax, that's as real as it gets, because it is exactly that.
When you do go to the gas station, you do see those people with like 10 tickets, and then they take up the cashier's 5 minutes running that shit, and it's like, come on, man, I just need to get some gas. Like,
scratchers are one thing, because there's like a statistical thing, and I don't know how like buying a $1 ticket versus $20. I don't know any of that. I don't know any of that, and like that might be a rush for somebody, but like, so like the question I have, like, so tomorrow, I think the drawing right now is at like 400 something.
It's like, it's so crazy.
So the next, $420 million. It's tomorrow night at 10 o'clock.
How often do they do it?
The Powerball.
Once a month?
No, it's both the Powerball and the Mega Millions are twice a week. That's why it exponentially grows.
Help me understand where this money comes from.
It's just tax dollars.
That's fucking insane.
Also, I wonder that. I don't know if like this. So it's $421 million, but if you get the cash option, it's only $290 because it's
Well, I get that. Yeah.
Taxes.
Right.
I don't know if that 420 is just like ticket sales. There's
no way in hell $500 million from homeless people on the street.
It's countrywide though. So
this
is not just a Missouri. I think it's like 27 states or something.
That makes it even more ridiculous.
Yeah, like that's why your odds are like so against you. Like it's insane. It's wild. But it's fun to think about. Because like that's my question. Like so tomorrow night it's 290 million and like I'm not the addict that's sitting in front of my TV at 9:59 seeing if I won the numbers. I wake up Saturday. Oh, yeah. Did I win the lottery?
So you buy a bunch of tickets and then you just kind of collect them?
I buy one.
But you can.
Oh, yeah.
And then check against all of them? It just seems like such a ridiculous concept.
So your ticket's only good for that drawing. So after this drawing.
I don't know about how many drawings are there?
There's
like
one.
A bunch?
There's one.
How often?
Tuesday, 125.
How often are they?
The drawings?
Yes.
Every Tuesday and every Friday for the
So it's once a week?
Twice a week. That's why
they have $500 million going out twice a week.
No.
You're not understanding my question.
So if someone wins, they get that money and it goes back down to like $3 million.
So there's a potential that no one wins?
Yes, and that's why it grows.
Oh my God. This is worse than FIFA points.
That's why that one time, like a few years ago, it got up to like 2.1 billion, something like that. Because it went
Unbelievable.
It went on for like 4 months and no one won. And each time no one wins, it grows because there's more ticket sales.
It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever
But
heard.
every time there's a drawing,
I can't believe this.
I bought my ticket yesterday.
So then you just keep so once you buy that ticket and they
the
draw,
drawing,
it's null.
done.
Oh
all the numbers reset.
All the probability and statistics just reset.
Yeah. So
what do the numbers go up to? 199? I'd love to know the probability on this. Like what does the first number have
So the first 5 numbers, there's no duplicates. The first 5 numbers are random between 1 and 70. And then the mega ball or the Powerball, quote, the 6th ball is a random number between 1 and 25.
Unbelievable.
And there's no duplicates. Yeah, that's why the odds are insane. Like, that's why you always see this shit. It's like you have...
Well, it's not odds. They set this.
The odds of you...
It can't be just like, oh, here's a ping pong ball generator.
Have you ever watched a lottery drawing?
Dude, no fucking way.
It's a big thing. It's a big turning thing.
I'm out on
this. That's literally it.
I can't believe you spend money on this.
Why?
I guess it's like buying like an energy drink or something, and like instead of getting that.
So since you can't buy them until you're 18, and since I've been 18, maybe $50 that I've spent.
But how much of your time and energy and mind has gone to this?
0.
I disagree. We've talked about this a number of times.
Thinking about what I would do with it? A lot.
I know.
A lot.
Right.
That's why the Great American Daydream.
I think that's the problem here.
But
I think you're spending too much of your time worrying about.
Oh, dude, it's fun because whether lottery, lottery or not, I'm gonna get there. But that's the question. Like, let's Saturday you wake up, you have 290 million coming your way. What are like the first 5 things you're doing? It doesn't matter if it's buying, doing, going. What are the first 5 things?
Definitely buying Mama Bear a house.
Fuck yeah, same.
Yeah. Getting her hooked up in a spot that she didn't have to worry about.
Here in St. Louis? Where's she from? She St. Louis girl?
Oh, yeah.
Right on.
Through and through.
Probably somewhere in Webster.
Yeah, Kirkwood.
Sorry, that's probably too much information to give out.
I mean.
Whatever. Yeah?
If anyone looks at my mom, that's weird.
Number 2?
I would definitely hook up my dad, reimburse him for all the shit he's paid for in my life to get me to this point.
It's a good one.
And then I'd probably...
just cut him a check for like 10x, whatever you think he did.
Yeah, just be like, thanks. Mm-hmm. Do with it what
You're a smart guy.
Yeah.
This means nothing, but thank you for everything.
Yeah, yeah. Like college.
Right.
And dental work.
Right.
God, he loves to remind me how much money he spent on my mouth as a child.
Dude, that isn't an orthodontist. That shit's no joke.
No joke. Yeah. So I respect that.
Sure. I think most people would probably say the same.
Yeah.
With those 2 things, I think most people would probably say the same.
Yeah. Then I'd probably go on a trip. I'd probably go for like 10 days somewhere.
Go back to Vietnam?
Probably.
Southeastern Asia?
Yeah.
Heard that.
I'd probably give a substantial amount of money to that organization.
Hell yeah. You go alone?
Probably.
Yeah?
I probably wouldn't go for that long.
Yeah. 10 days? Yeah, sure, you can do that.
Yeah.
And you said you'd go, you've got people there.
And just show up and just be like, here's
show up unannounced, here's $5 million.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. And just.
I just got goosebumps.
Yeah. Just, I mean, $5 million's way too much over there. Not that they wouldn't do good with it, but I don't think they would need that much.
No.
And it would.
You get the point, though.
Yeah. It would be a substantial amount of money.
Right.
And just kind of show up and be like, here you go. In cash. All of it.
You're good people. I know you'll do good with this.
Yeah. Type deal.
What's number 4. Buy your mom a house. Quote, repay your dad. Number 3.
I'd have to get something for myself.
Like what?
I'd probably trade in the car that I have and get
it's already out there.
Yeah. No, I'd probably get like a Tesla or something manageable. I wouldn't get like you love cars, like you really love cars. I don't at all.
You appreciate them.
I do.
You appreciate something that's nice.
I do. But at the same time, I don't need a $500,000 car.
I wouldn't do that either.
I need a thing to get me from A to B. And it would probably be electric, and it'd probably be a Tesla.
A nice, well-maintained SUV.
Yeah.
Sure. Respectable.
Yeah.
5?
I mean, I guess under the heading of giving money to my family, number 2 would probably be like hooking up my brother and sister as well.
I'd say the same.
Probably starting a fund for my little brother to go to college as well.
Right on.
Just like checking all the boxes.
Just like
family-wise.
Just put like $100K in an S&P.
Yeah. Just be like, don't touch this until you want to go to wherever you want to go to school. You don't have to worry about it. And then I'd probably go on a trip with some of my friends, somewhere fun.
Hell yeah.
Don't know where that would be. Probably, well, I guess with COVID and everything going on, I'd say like probably planning for like going to the Champions League final or like an event, not going to like some remote island in the Pacific.
Something sweet.
Like an event.
Get tickets to the World Cup or something.
Yeah, or like the Monaco Grand Prix or something.
Yeah.
And just kind of like a lot, like too much money to go have an unbelievable
like
week.
a few $100,000.
Yeah,
on
to
like
be
10
like,
guys.
Yeah, we're not going to do this quietly.
We're not having ramen for dinner, boys.
But once I get all those first check boxes marked off, then I could be like, okay.
I agree.
And then still have, X million to do with what I want.
270 million to do with what you want.
Right. That would probably be my plan of attack.
But like, I like to ask that question because A, it's fun to think about, and B, you get to really see what the people has, like their quote, not values or morals, but like the first 2 things you said, those are fantastic things to say.
I'd probably get my own place too.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably buy a house.
Like if you asked me this question at 16, I'd say a Lambo.
Yeah.
But like if I'm asking a 25-year-old now, what's the first thing you're doing? You win $290 million, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go get like a Lambo or 2. It's like, okay, really? Mm-hmm. That's the first thing you're doing?
No.
Be better.
No. I wouldn't spend more than $50,000 on a car.
I'd get something sweet. I'm not buying a $500,000 car, but I'm getting something sweet. Like a Tesla.
Yeah, that'd be my day-to-day.
For sure.
I'd probably move. I don't know if I'd move away from St. Louis just because all my roots are here.
Yeah.
But I'd definitely like to invest in real estate in other places.
That was something that we talked to Hunter about last night, was his Airbnb down in Nashville.
Yeah.
And like what you're saying, he was like a long-term plan, like in an ideal world is like, well, this is not his situation, but he was like saying in an ideal world, you get like 10 of your buddies and all of you go 1/10 and all of you buy, like eventually you buy 10 Airbnbs across the United States.
And that's like, messy though.
But like then like your whole goal is like not to make money. It's just for you guys
to go there,
to have essentially a quote free place to stay across the country. And I was like, like put money aside, that's a great net win situation.
Yeah, I'd probably buy my grandpa's property in Keystone.
Oh, hell yeah.
And just buy it from him and be like, we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. You'll get your money back on your investment. Dude, I think he spent like less than $100,000 on this.
Crazy.
Right next to Keystone Resort.
He's probably had it for, 40, 50 years?
Yeah, in the 80s. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's still like, looks like it's in the 80s. so much character. I wouldn't tear it down. Wouldn't do anything.
I was gonna say that's his home.
Yeah. Well, second home.
Right.
Like he had a lot of. He did well.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Is this the doctor?
No. This is my dad's dad, paternal.
Word.
Yeah. So I'd probably do that. Definitely invest in some real estate in Colorado. This place is awesome.
I love asking this question because people give answers like this, and it's like, okay, you just won 290, and you just maybe explain $10 or $15 million.
Well, right. I definitely want to set up my grandkids. Like you have to. You have to be thinking about that.
And it's funny because
you have to allot like half.
And like our education, like we know this, like we know quote, like we're not financial experts, but we know we have a general financial sense.
Yeah.
But like you think about this and like if you don't have this general financial sense, it makes perfect sense why people go broke after winning the lottery.
Oh yeah.
And like they
just go crazy.
Yeah, like that's you. They
for
go
like 2 years, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I only have $600,000 left." And it's like, yeah.
They buy a $5 million
that trip
house.
you took to Maui. Yeah. How are you gonna keep paying for that house that you bought there?
They don't know that it takes $1 million to run the house a year.
Right.
Sorry, taxes.
Yeah.
Bills.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be an interesting question for most people. I feel like most people would give a similar response to what I gave.
But at the same time, like you could ask me that, and like I would say travel, hook the parents up, hook the family up, but then it's like immediately like cars. Yeah. And like someone, like I could ask Britt that, and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm buying a boat at the lake." And like I could ask Fowler that, and he's saying like season tickets to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like it's like it.
Oh yeah, I'd go to England probably.
It's crazy how much it would vary.
Yeah.
And like that's why you have to limit it to like the first, like literally in the first 24 hours. What are you doing?
Oh geez.
Like because like if I woke up and I had $290 million coming my way. Like that is going to be like the longest 24 hours of my life. Quote shortest, but like I'm doing a lot in those 24 hours.
Yeah.
And everyone's getting hooked up.
Yeah, I feel bad I didn't include more of my family in the second answer, but they know.
Yeah,
they know.
I love that though because like I would hook up my family, my grandma, my uncle, my mom, my dad, my sisters.
Definitely extended family as well.
Right, but like and that's like a thing that I've heard and read is like once you get money, you got to be careful with giving it. Mm-hmm. And like I've heard, like
well, we've had this conversation before.
I've come to understand, like give them like just say $1 million.
Well, you give them an inch to take a yard.
Right, and like here's $1 million. Do what you want. Be smart. Never ask for more.
Yeah.
This doesn't change our relationship. I want you to be happy and do well, but never come to me for like even another $10,000 because I gave you $1 million.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think about. But like I love this conversation.
Yeah, it's wild to think about.
It's like 290 million of let alone dollars. 290 million grains of rice would fill this house.
I would be smart with how much I gave and to whom I gave it with.
Absolutely.
You know, like I would give my sister and her family $1 million because I know that my brother-in-law and her would be financially responsible with it. But if I gave, I don't know, one of my friends that much money, I don't know what they do with it.
Right.
I don't know if they'd invest it. I don't know if they gamble it. You know, throw $500,000 on black at a casino in Vegas, and it's like then in 5 years they're like, "Hey, Davis," I'm like, "What happened to that seven-figure number I gave you?"
Didn't I hook you up?
Yeah, right. I think just laying the groundwork for that would be important. Being like, "Yeah, here you go. Don't ask for any more." Unless you're like trying to start a business venture.
Right.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But if it's like, hey,
but if they're trying to start a business venture, then that's a totally different level of
conversation.
Not a level of person. Like, okay, clearly your goals are aligned differently. Like, now let's have a real talk.
Yeah.
Like the gym. Like, if a dude like that came to me with that kind of a plan, I'd be
Eric
like, yeah.
Lift STL.
Yeah. Like, we don't know your numbers, but like, if someone like that, he seems like a straight up guy with a straight up business model that means well, blank check.
Well, it's all about the plan.
Right.
If they've got a plan and they've got a way to execute that plan. Mm-hmm. Let's see it.
Like if my dumbass came to you, was like, "Yo, I need $100K to start this podcast," you'd be like, "Dude, eat sacks." No.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Show me." Something.
yeah. Where's this all going?
Yeah, show me something. A little bit something. I left this one blank intentionally because I knew we were gonna go deep on this one.
We don't have to. Another thing I want to talk to you about that I feel like the conversation pops up a lot. I was so excited for this because I knew this was just going to be like random conversation. The next thing that something comes up a lot is Spotify versus Apple.
I didn't know what to respond to this one, so I just didn't because it's hard to give a perspective on something that you don't know.
Okay, but so let me pose a question. Spotify versus Apple. It's like
what is
like Apple Music, sorry.
Yeah.
Spotify versus Apple Music. It's right. Like it's at I don't even know how to compare it so the level of the amount of users. We all have iPhones.
Wait, hold on. What is the initial question? Which one is better?
No. I'm just interested in your thoughts and like what you think about this and why you think it is. So
what is it?
I know. I'll get to it.
Okay.
So you have an iPhone.
Yes.
How long have you had an iPhone? 10 years?
Probably.
When was the last time you had an Android?
Never.
Okay. And Apple Music is on. Apple Music is just iTunes, but you just had to start paying for it.
Right.
And Spotify is its own deal. And the level of iPhones is like the same thing as the NFL and soccer. Like it's minuscule. It's like how many people use Androids in the world. And like maybe that's a skew on the numbers because of how many people worldwide use Spotify. But why do you, I find it so, like with the statistics I've sent you from this podcast, like as a very basic example, like the amount of people that have listened to this on Apple versus Spotify is wild. And I find it interesting that all of our friends, I can only speak for our local friend group, all of our friends have iPhones, which means everyone used iTunes. But I feel like a majority of our friends have Spotify.
It's a better platform.
But so like that's my question. Like you had iTunes. Why did you, specifically Davis, why did you switch to Spotify?
I think
and when?
Way back when it was like 99 cents a song, just like threw me off.
Like, and then they upcharged like $1.30 a song or something like that.
$1.29.
So before Apple had its quote streaming service,
I went to
because then Spotify was probably.
I went to Spotify in high school.
It was probably a few bucks a month.
Yeah,
like $3 or $4 a month.
Yeah, I think so, and that was
at the time
more reasonable,
right?
And they had the exact same stuff,
right? So do you think that's like?
Now I think it's just at this point where I'm so invested.
No, that's fair. That's
fair.
I
can't get out.
Because that's how I am with Spotify. Like all
Apple Music, you mean?
Yes, that's. That's how I feel about switching to Spotify now.
Yeah.
Is because I'm so invested with my library now. It's like I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, and the only person that I know that uses Apple Music as religiously as you do is Noah.
Same.
And when we were over there last weekend, we were playing music. I was on his phone, and I was like, man, this is actually laid out pretty well. Like, this is pretty good. The user experience, UI is...
It's basic.
It's good.
Like, so I'll admit that Spotify has a lot more, like, to it.
Yeah.
Like with the friends playlist and like following people and
that's only on
desktop.
Yeah. That's not on mobile.
But I feel like the social aspect of Spotify, I can't talk for like.
It's not a huge player to me at this point. It was.
Yeah, I feel like in college, like that was the thing.
Yeah.
It was like people following people's playlists and shit.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It was. And like you knew whose playlist was like someone would be like, oh, so-and-so's a good playlist.
Well, it's like one of my playlists has like 25 likes.
Right.
And like follows. It's like that's a good feeling. People,
that's cool.
People like my music.
Right.
Like that kind of, I guess, aspect is like, and I was never ever doing it for that purpose.
Yeah.
It was just like, because it's publicly available, people can go and listen to it if they want to. Mm-hmm. But like Charlie brought up that he would put on my Bridge playlist at the hospital, and people would comment on it.
Like the Bridge from the Student Center?
Yeah, that's where the name of the podcast the playlist came from.
Right.
Because I had already developed this kind of alternative type John Mayer type playlist, indie type stuff. I mean, it's just like, I mean, there's 500 songs on there. There's every genre of music, but that's the core of it. And I created it for putting on when I was working there. And then it just snowballed into
that style of playlist.
Right. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting when people like shout you out. They're like, I listen to your playlist, and like people that I work with, like it's like That's cool.
Like thinking about that, like internally, if someone like I don't, because that's
a pretty big compliment when people like your taste in music. It's like, yeah.
If someone like says like, "Yo, I listen to your playlist," I'm like, wow, thanks.
Yeah, that's great. And we went out with Charlie. I went out with him and
Charlie Hurth, episode 6. Go listen to it.
Yeah, great pod. You were there with me when we went
out. For your birthday?
No. When we went to Tower Grove to that pregame.
That was your birthday, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
When we did those few little bars?
Yeah, we went to those bars that were not intended for us.
That was your birthday, I think.
Yeah. And we went to that pregame, and people came up to me and they're like, "Oh, yeah, you have that Bridge playlist." And I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah. They're like, yeah, we listen to it all the time at work.
That's awesome.
That's wild. So weird kind of side tangent there, but that is an aspect of Spotify that's cool.
I agree. And Apple Music has that, but even like going back to the college thing, like when the like following playlist and all that.
Well, and we were on our laptops all day, 24/7 all day.
And that was big, but like Apple Music had that, but no one ever used it. And
really?
Never. Like someone like McFerrin, actually I have one of his playlists on my phone. And it's just like classic rock. It's a great play. Shout out McFerrin. It's a great playlist, great rock playlist.
Great guy.
Great guy. I love you, Fair. Like I feel like that was just never, ever utilized. And I wonder if it's the same thing what you were just saying with like how back when you had to buy music, because I just downloaded it all.
I don't know when the switch came.
I know. And like
I don't know. It was definitely in high school.
I wonder if that's the same shit though. I'm wondering if that's the same shit with everyone that uses Spotify, like all of our friends, if they had the same mentality. It's like, I'm not paying for this music.
I don't know. But it's like, I feel like it's the same kind of conversation now. It's like, why don't you have an Android? It's like, well, because everything I have is Apple, right?
I've always thought about that.
You're not going to go to Microsoft and Android because you've got a Mac, you got an iPhone, you've got AirPods. It's
you have an iPhone.
You're too far deep.
You have the app. Like you have the music app.
But you have to pay for it.
I know, but like you have to go out of your way to get Spotify and then pay for Spotify.
It's just another app, though.
Yeah, I know.
What's the difference between it already being downloaded on your phone and you taking literally 7 seconds to download it?
I don't know. How much is Spotify now? Is it $10 a month?
Yeah,
that's what Apple Music is.
Exactly. So there's no price comparison,
and like
it's just a user interface comparison.
I googled this the other day.
At this point,
Spotify, because like technically.
Dude, Spotify has got to be raping Apple and users.
I think user-wise, they do. Have you seen the chart of how, like, the different streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple, YouTube Music, Napster, Tidal, how they pay their...
Oh, yeah, and, like, Tidal's insane. Tidal's, like, 10x what everyone else is.
Yeah, and, like, Spotify doesn't pay their artist. But, like, so Spotify versus Apple Music. Yeah, so this is for September of 21. And just like the general thing, so like the statistics, $10 a month, $10 a month, blah, 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 blah. So Apple Music apparently has over 75 million songs and Spotify has over 70 million songs. And then
learned, sorry to interrupt.
No.
Mary J. Blige, Be Without You, was one of those 5 million that wasn't on
Wasn't on it, really?
Yeah, I had to go to YouTube every time I want to listen to it. But I found out last weekend that
Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, she's a goat.
And then
but there was one of those songs I was like, why the fuck is this not on Spotify?
And it says 2.6 million podcasts are on Spotify, but like, why isn't there a number on? Because like in literally my experience with uploading podcasts, it's copy and paste into an Apple account and copy and paste into a Spotify account.
I think, I don't know. Well, in the aspect that you can watch.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's insane.
Say what you want about them. I still listen. I feel like you're the same. I do not care for Rogan as much as I did when I first got into podcasts.
I kind of do.
But
not as much though.
I have Spotify on my I don't pay for a thing, but I have a free account. I have it on my computer and I have the app on my computer. And I think it's sick that when I go out of my way to listen to a Rogan podcast, I have the full video through the app.
Yeah, and on your phone.
Yeah, that's
like I can be driving like on long drives,
and just having your cup holder. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's dope. And I don't again tech over my head. That is a wicked concept.
Well, I stopped paying for Spotify a few months ago because I was only listening to podcasts, and they already have their targeted ads throughout, like Rogan and PMT, and, you know, other ones I listen to, like Men in Blazers.
Yeah.
And so I was like, why am I paying $10 a month when I'm never listening to my own music? And then I started working out, and I was like, I can't do this.
Do the ads.
I can't
do this. It's like every 5 songs.
I was like, enjoy this 30 minutes, and then you can't even pick what song you want in your own playlist. That's where they get you.
Yeah, it was like...
It's like I have my own playlist, and I've had this for 10 years. You won't even let me pick my own goddamn song.
So when you started paying again, it just picked right up?
Right back up. And I was like, I just bit the bullet. And I was like, I can't not be able to play what song I want.
$10 is so minuscule for something like that.
Yeah, but at the same time...
$120 a year.
Yeah. I don't know. But I did stop paying for a few months because I was like, all I'm listening to in the car is podcasts.
We've talked about that.
And it's like, they don't have Spotify ads in podcasts.
It's just
the ads that
ad read.
The Joe Rogan, the Pardon My Takes are generating themselves.
Mortgage lending or Athletic Greens or whatever the hell.
Yeah, exactly. And you can just...
Yeah, you can literally skip to the end of the ad. I love that part.
It's hilarious.
I'm curious. I was actually thinking about that the other day because when I was listening to the one on here, an ad came up and I just skipped right to the end and the podcast kept running. And I was like, I wonder how that conversion's working for them. Adding that feature
can't be great.
It can't be great.
It cannot be great. Because
and I wonder if like the podcaster is taking the hit or so let's take
podcasters are not taking the hit on that.
So there's no way.
Spotify is taking the hit.
Like let's take Rogan for an example.
I bet the person who's doing the ad is taking the hit.
Athletic Rogan Athletic.
I've never I hear this podcast is
done. No, I don't even hear who's by.
No, I don't either. And then another one comes, I'm like,
I wonder.
And then I just get right back to where I was. And it takes me 10 seconds to skip through like 5 minutes worth of ads.
I think it's so interesting though. Like whenever we're at a party, like not even a party, like let's say we're just kicking it and like someone's like, play music. I'm like, sure. And then like someone would be like, pull up this playlist. I'm like, Apple Music. And they're like, ugh. I'm like, yeah, no, that's interesting. That's so interesting. Did you have an Android a few years ago? I don't know, because that's just like
I don't think that's the argument. I don't
either. I agree.
No, it's not the argument.
But I like internally, I was like, I just always had iTunes, and I got an iPhone and had Apple Music. I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking time out. I gotta pee.
Yeah.
Shit is fun.
It's funny though because like the people that have texted me about listening to it, like how it says like six engaged listeners. Cheers, brother. Love you.
Love you.
I really appreciate you coming on. Like how it says 6 engaged listeners as an example. Like, literally the 6 engaged, and it's like listen to like 40% of it or something, or I don't know, or more than like 20 minutes, I don't whatever it is. They will text me individually, and like it's wild to think that even 6 people give a shit this much to keep listening, and like shout out like hashtag support your friends. And I think that's half of it because they're just like, my buddy's listening, but I think that's so cool. And like how you were just like, I'll keep going. It's like, yeah, why not?
I mean,
if they don't listen, they don't listen.
I don't really care. I think this is more of like it's a fun thing to like explore different conversation pieces.
Absolutely.
But what I was going to say to your point was it's fun. And I'm sure you know this way more than I do, of getting those text messages from people that you haven't heard from in a while, being like, hey, I listened to your podcast. That was really cool.
It's awesome. It's such a cool feeling.
And I'm sure you get that all the time.
And like this, like the screenshots and pictures I got from Charlie from his, I was like, no way.
Yeah. Like
that many people listen to this? Because he sent me like 3 or 4 individual pictures of like people that sent him pictures. Like, yo, I'm an hour into this. I was like,
crazy.
What?
Crazy.
I don't even know you.
I've never even heard of you.
No, I'll probably never meet you.
Ever.
But at the same time, like,
that is a question I had for you.
That'll be really cool if like ever, like let's say we go out again and like that guy is out. He's like, I listen to your podcast. I'm going to shit myself on the spot.
Who texted me about your podcast with Charlie. Not even about me. He's like, oh shit, I didn't even know you had one with him. I was like, you dumbass.
Dumbass boy. Yeah, what was your question?
I think about this all the time when I'm driving.
Yeah?
About seeing people on the road and never seeing them again.
I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Did we talk about this the other day?
I feel like we've talked about this in the past, but not the other day. Maybe, months, maybe years ago. But there's something that, like, when I drive, and I spend a lot of time in the car by myself, that when I look at other people driving, stopped at a stoplight or on the highway, I look at them and I just get not like overwhelmed, but I just like am deeply curious about who they are and like
what they got going on,
what they're doing, where they're going, where they're coming from, why they're driving so fast or so slow, why they're driving the car that they're driving, why they're with that person, and then it fades and I'll never see them again or think about them. But in that moment, I have like so many different thoughts.
Infatuation with them.
Not infatuation.
Almost. It's like, what are they doing?
I mean, I guess.
No. Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know why I think that way about other people. And it's kind of lesser so when I see them in public. Like, if I'm in a public space, I don't really think about it that much.
A grocery store or something.
But I think there's something about being alone in your car where just like your mind kind of races. And that's kind of where mine goes.
Races / wanders.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day. It was probably a TikTok. It was just a video. And it was someone sitting at an airport gate. And it's just them like panning over all the people sitting at the gate. And it's like, it's wild to think about all these people have shit going on, are going somewhere for some reason to do something. And we're all just kind of doing it together, but completely separate. And I was like, what?
I was,
like, you think like driving your car, like you're on the highway, there's like within 1,000 feet, there's 1,000 cars. And you're like, where are all these people going?
Where are they coming from?
What are they doing?
Did they drive 10 minutes? Did they drive 10 hours?
Are they going to Denver?
Or are they going to Webster?
Right. Like,
I kind of had a oh shit moment when I was flying to Denver. I had a connection to Chicago, which is not on the way.
Nope.
But there's a wing of O'Hare that's just like...
It's a fat airport.
Like a dozen terminals just like in one little corner.
Yeah.
So there's quite literally thousands of people trying to get on their plane, do their thing, like we were just saying, go wherever they need to go.
On vacation, get to their family member, get to a meeting, this, that, the other thing.
And I was by myself, which I love flying by myself. It's like, I think when I have a family and go older, obviously this is going to change, but I love traveling by myself. I love it.
It's fun.
It's like my favorite thing.
Throwing your headphones in?
Yeah. And just like people watching. And like I put my phone down for a while. It was charging and I was just kind of standing there waiting to, get in line to board. And I just like kind of panned this big, big open room with all these terminals and stuff. And it was packed, like elbow to elbow packed. All these people wearing masks. All these people just staring at their phones. It was like a Black Mirror episode.
Literally.
And I was like, 95% of these people are staring at their phones. Everyone's wearing masks.
The one random person you make eye contact with, probably thinking the same thing.
Well, and no one, I didn't make eye contact with anyone because everyone's just staring at their phones. And it was like a bizarre, like kind of, oh my God, we are so connected to our phones. Like, no one is giving anyone the time of day.
No.
And it was in October, which not like height of the pandemic, but like
whatever.
It was just crazy to like look at these thousands of people. Like everyone's like masked up. Like there's no humanity in it anymore. No. Like there's no, I don't know. Everyone's just a mask at this point. And it's like, it's safe and it's good. And I'm glad that people are wearing masks. But at the same time, it's like, I love running into random people, having that random conversation with someone that you have no idea
right.
who they are, where they came from, but striking up that conversation with somebody. But I feel like that's kind of lost now because of the virus and everything that's going on. Because no one wants to talk to you. No one wants to get close to you.
Right.
Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. They're looking out for themselves, which, again, is good.
Take care, number one.
But you can't read people.
I agree.
And so one of the questions that you had was like, what's something that you're like good at?
Yeah.
One of the things I feel like I'm good at is like reading people, like strangers, kind of like understanding
like their body language, like their facial expression or something.
Yeah. And like who they're talking to, how they're talking to them. Like I can just kind of pick up on things like that, which is, I guess, kind of strange, but
no, I'm following.
And that's lost.
I would agree.
Like, because if you can't tell what's going on with their facial expressions, their body language type deal, then you can't really paint a picture of who they are. Are they approachable? Are they not approachable? I don't know.
Are they happy? Are they mad?
Like, if I'm wearing this with a mask on and a jacket, I wouldn't approach myself with a hat on, a mask, and sunglasses. Like,
no,
it's just another person. But I don't know. I had that weird realization when I was looking around the airport, and I was like, man, this is weird. Like, there's no distinguishable feature about anybody because we can't tell because everyone's.
Wow, that's kind of freaky. Distinguishable feature.
Because everyone looks the same.
Last year, so fuck me, we're almost 2 years into this. Last year, like sometime around spring break, whatever, I don't know, we were in Gulf Shores down in Alabama. And like, again, I'm pro safety, pro health, but it was honestly refreshing. A year into the pandemic, a year into masks everywhere, you're kicked out if you don't wear one, to go down to, like, it's Alabama, and like read between the lines. No masks anywhere ever at all.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not getting political, but it was so refreshing to see people's faces and to see people like talking to each other and like facial expression and like at a cashier line, like seeing a smile and thank you. And I was like, wow, this is what it is. This is what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Not hiding. Hello.
But at the same time, it's also like, I feel like it's almost like irresponsible.
I agree. I agree.
Like, you should probably have a mask on.
And it like right now for sure, but it was.
I put on a mask even though I'm double vaxxed, boosted up.
Right.
Like, I still put it on because I feel like it makes other people comfortable.
I've noticed that. I'll go in like today at Target when I picked up this stuff. I didn't have one. I just was like, whatever. I walk. If I don't have one, I walk in. They have some. I'll take one. If not, I'm like, well, hope I don't get kicked out. And like, I was checking out, and the lady had to see my ID at self checkout, and I was just standing there like waiting, and she was like, "Can you please step back?" And I was like, I was like, "Yeah, of course." Like,
yeah, sure.
Well, 10 feet away, whatever you need. And
right.
I like, it literally hit me. I was like, wow, like if I had a mask on, I bet she would have felt 100 times more comfortable. And it's kind of wild to think about because it's like almost like a balancing act of like being friendly and like showing expression, but also like being considerate and like taking their, I don't want to say viewpoints, but concerns into consideration.
Yeah. Like when I went to the dealership today, like to take my car to the shop, like I just put on a mask, like just kind of without even thinking. It's just like some of the, guys in the shop weren't. I'm like, that's okay. But like the guy that was checking me out or whatever didn't have a mask on and saw that I was wearing one and then put one on. It's like, no, dude, you don't have to do that. Like if you don't want to wear one, you don't have to. Like I'm looking out for myself to just look out for myself, and you can wear one if you want, but you don't have to put one on and make me feel comfortable. But I bet they get so many shit.
Oh, I can't imagine. Especially at a dealership, people are already angry that they're there.
Yeah, with people already mad at them because the car doesn't work.
Yeah,
yeah.
Somehow it's their fault. I don't know, man.
But like some of my, and I'm not going to name names, but some people that I've gone to events with, just put it that way, were upset that they had to put on masks to go into said event. It's like, dude, just put on the fucking mask.
That's how. Like,
it's like, just put on the mask.
Literally.
It's like, oh well, I got the vaccine, so I didn't have to do this. It's like, is it really that hard to put it on for 10 minutes? Like, you can breathe fine. You're a grown man, very healthy, very, very healthy. You can breathe just fine.
Yeah, you're not going to have a heart attack with this thing
like,
on, dude.
You're not a sheep for putting it. Just put on the mask. It's not that hard.
I went to...
Sorry, that was my...
No. I'm with you. I went to... It's frustrating because of the people that are like the people that drive around like solo in their car with a mask on. It's like, what are we doing here? I know, I agree.
At the same time, who the hell cares?
Right, yeah. But what I was saying...
Let them do them.
Let's just... Last weekend, I went and...
Yeah, it is ridiculous that they do that.
Last weekend, I went and got... I was out west, and I wanted... out west. I was out by my dad's. And
out west? I was like, oh, you can...
Yeah, I was out in West County, and
You were in Chesterfield.
I was getting... Oh, yeah, sure. I was getting Global Quesadilla, and it's no dine-in. It's only takeout or delivery. And I walked in, and a dude walked, like literally 10 feet in front of me, a dude walked in. We were the only two people in there. He got his order to go. He walked out. Like, he was in and out 20 seconds. And I walked up. The dude turned around, saw me, and the guy, and like literally there's 2 workers, 2 cooks, that's it, and me in the entire restaurant. And the dude was like, I just didn't have a mask on. I was like, I just walked in. I was like, what's up? And like, hey, man, like, can you put a mask on? And I was like, yeah, one in my car. I'll be right back. And like, literally, like, some people be like, fuck this place. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like... And
I literally I took 20 steps out to my car, grabbed the one on my console, put it on, went, ordered my food, and left. I was like, hey, man, it's your business. I'm not going to argue with this shit.
Yeah. Like, when we went to the SLU men's basketball game last night, and like a few of them didn't have masks. Mm-hmm. Going in, they're like, oh yeah, here's some, just put it on.
Yeah.
Literally for all of 3 seconds just to get through security.
Right.
And then you can take it off.
Yeah.
It's like...
Monster Jam, same shit.
Yeah.
You just wear one in. I was like, okay.
Yeah, same with the Blues game. I went to the Blues game a few weeks ago, and it's like, same thing. Show your vaccine, show your ID, you have a mask on, go. Do what you want. Mm-hmm. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. And like...
It's a free vaccine. It's free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yeah.
It costs $0.
Some states are paying you.
Which is even crazier. Like, and some of my friends are just like so against it. I'm like, just... Well, and I'm pretty biased because of Charlie. And
that's fair.
Which is fair because
it's totally fair.
Works in a hospital.
Right.
He sees these people who are unvaccinated and are very, very ill because of not being vaccinated.
I wouldn't even say that's fair. I'd almost go saying that's just being literally more educated on the subject.
Unreasonable.
Yeah.
It's like, put your prejudice aside for a second.
That's Britt's grandma. We see her a lot. When she's in town, we see her a lot. And she's not like, she doesn't have underlying conditions or anything like that. She's just an elderly lady. She's in her 80s. Mm-hmm. And so, like, literally until maybe Thanksgiving, maybe like Halloween, I don't know, something like last fall, where she wasn't comfortable until that point wearing a mask around us. Like, it wasn't even the question. Like, if you don't have a mask, don't get within 100 feet of her.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just like, she's 85. Like, why are we even...
Very vulnerable.
Why are we even bothering?
Right.
At this point. Like, she was pretty much in solitary confinement for 6 months. Like, if we get to see her, wear your goddamn mask. It's like, yeah, no questions at all. Right. And, like, as soon as she was like, I'm okay with no mask, it's like, okay, then we won't wear them.
Yeah.
But as long as she was like... As long as she was wearing one, we were wearing one. And it's like, yeah, I don't care what's going on. If that's what it takes to A, see you, B, make you feel comfortable, why the fuck question it?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if we went out and, like, let's just take you, like, you had, I don't know, I don't even know what the underlying conditions that are like most susceptible. Like let's just use
being obese.
Yeah, let's just use diabetes. And you were like, please wear a mask. And one of our friends like, I'm not gonna do that. We probably wouldn't invite them.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not saying that to be like a dick, but like if we were going out to like a bar and you wanted us to wear masks, we'd be like, yeah, for sure. Like you have something that, and like I'm using a bar because it's like a social setting.
Right.
Or like you're drinking, you don't have one on the whole time, whatever.
Yeah.
And in that instance, you wanted everyone to wear one. We'd be like, yeah, whatever you need, dude. Like, you've got something going on. I'm not going to question that for a second.
Why aren't people like that with other people?
I don't know.
Strangers, you know? It's like you have to assume that most people have underlying conditions.
It's a crazy sense of entitlement.
Because everyone in this country is fat.
Like, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you don't wear one. It doesn't bother me. But, like, if you walk into a business or a store or someone's house, it's not your property, and they ask you to wear one.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Exactly. Like, why do you feel so entitled?
Do you own this city or something? Like who are you?
Like, just abide by the rules.
And I actually get, like, anxious sometimes. Like, I don't get anxiety, but, like, if I get to work and, like, I have, like, 4 masks in my drawer at work, and if, like, someday, like, I'm going to go get lunch and I open it and I don't have a mask sitting in my drawer because, like, I wore one, left it in my car, it's on the table, it's in my jacket, whatever. Yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck. Am I getting lunch today?
Yeah.
And, like, and then I'll go in my car and open my console and there's,
like,
there's not a mask in there. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do?
I know. I just have them planted.
That's what I've got. Like 3 or 4 in the dining room table. There's like 4 jackets. There's just one sitting in.
Yeah.
I've got like 3 or 4 at work. There's just like I think and I hope, but that's the thing. Like sometimes I'll take it from my desk, go to my car, leave it in my car, have it in my car, wear it, leave it in my pocket, put it in my desk, and then like there's not one in my desk or there's not one in the console, and then I'll get somewhere and I need one, I don't have one. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's
a lot.
What do you think it'll take for us? I don't want to use the word get past it.
I think this is going to be very normal for us for a very long time.
So 2 things. One, I think it was like Spain. I don't want to put words in their mouth. I'm an idiot. Google it. Some country just declared the other day that the pandemic was over.
It was Denmark.
Okay. Was it?
It was. They didn't declare that it was over. They just said that the rules are lifted.
Yeah, and I was like,
because they're smart.
Yeah.
Because most people, well, they're also, it's a sample size thing.
Right.
They have quite literally 350,000 people, I think, total in their country.
3 million tops.
I doubt it.
But exactly, like
I doubt it.
3 million. That's a small city in America.
No, I think it's very, very much lower than that, and they all just abided by the rules.
And on the flip side,
and they're like, oh yeah, now we can go back to normalcy because everyone listened to what we said. And isn't that crazy?
On the other point was like, say what you want about them, but like China and Japan, it's just always been commonplace to where if you have a common cold, a fever, a flu,
it's always been a thing.
You stay home,
or you wear a mask.
You stay the fuck home, and if you have a cough or something, you wear a mask.
Yeah,
like that. And if you cough in public, it's like you're shunned. And I like, unless like
it's a very real thing. Actually.
Exactly. And I get it. Like you have the random thing in your throat, you do like a huh. But if you're like in a grocery store,
get out.
Yeah, like if you're sneezing,
don't go.
If you sneeze 4 or 5 times in a row, like, and like I would totally be fine with that because like right now it's like it's frowned upon to miss work. Like your sick days are your PTO, and that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit.
Don't even get me started.
Like, well, that's a whole nother topic, but like that's a thing over there. Like again, I haven't been there, I can't speak for it, but like from what I've read and heard, it's like over there, like. If you're, like, what's our temperature? 98.6, 96.8, something like that?
98.7, I think.
And if you're running 100, you stay the fuck home.
Right.
And, like, here, if you're running, like, a 99, 100, it's like, well, you could probably still come in, right?
So when I got the booster.
Like, what, a week or 2 ago, something like that?
Last week.
Yeah.
I got it last Thursday. And
that's right, you were out for the count.
I checked my temperature at, like, 6 in the morning. It was, like, 100.8. And I texted my boss, and I was like, yo, I had a horrible night of sweating, shivering, shower, shivering, sweating. Like, it was just miserable. And I was up at like 5:45.
Right.
And we had a thermometer, and I checked it, and it was like 100.8. And I texted my manager, and I was like, hey, yeah, like, I've got a 100.8. Like, I had a horrible night. Like,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not coming in. And he's like, do what you think is best. I was like, okay, well, what I think is best is not coming in.
Yeah.
And it was just, and all he said was, okay. I was like, okay, so, like.
Yeah, that's kind of like a negative.
I was like, yeah, don't be. I guess I was reading maybe too much into it, but I was like, I just had like an unbelievably awful night, like, and I clearly have a fever from this thing, and I'm texting you, letting you know, trying to be proactive instead of reactive, which is
good.
Yeah,
look at you.
And he was just like
that, proactive versus reactive. Sorry, keep going.
And he was just like, you do what you think is best. I was like, okay, well, I have had 0 hours of sleep. I've been up all night. I'm probably going to stay home. And he's like, okay. Like, all right, man. Like, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, hope you feel better.
Yeah,
like,
you want me to come in?
Don't worry about it. Like, do some work from home. But he's just like, okay.
That's.
But I was just like, all right, man.
Going on a deeper level, like, if he would have been, no problem, stay at home, feel better, you would have felt so much more like enlightened,
right?
And like been so much more like, I don't want to use the word excited, but like more appreciative of going in on Monday,
right?
Like when you felt good,
yeah.
And like I feel like in general, like it's like using PTO as a sick day is such bullshit, because it's like, in my experience, like I was like literally texting him. I was like, yo, I threw up at 4 a.m. I'm sweating bullets. I'm not coming in. And like the text I got back was like, okay, just put it in on
PTO.
Yeah. And I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, I ate dinner, felt fine, woke up, thrown up, and like, yeah, now I got to burn a PTO day, and I only had 10 of them to begin with.
I know, it's January.
Yeah, and like, okay, like if you would have been like, okay, no problem, I'd be like, wow, thanks a ton. Like, but now, like later, I'm like, well, it's either I
go to work, dead,
sick, yeah,
dead,
and probably lay on the floor, maybe get someone else sick,
yeah,
or you could have just given me like, hey man, just stay,
because I very well could have gone into work that day,
right?
I would have been a goddamn mess,
right?
I would have been head on the desk all day, being like, get me the fuck out of here. And it's like, why would I not? Whatever. Do you have a new question? Let's pivot.
Sure. So 2 things tied into one.
I think I know exactly.
Yeah, I think you do too. Like, we've kind of talked about it, and like you've heard me talk about it, like the reincarnation thing.
Yeah.
And I know it's silly. Like, I know it's.
I don't think it's that silly.
But it is. Like, it's. If it wasn't silly, it would be like a more
talked about topic,
right? And like I'm not one to preach it. Like I'm not fucking Jesus over here. It's just something fun to think about. And you know what I'm saying? Like, your viewpoint is, yeah, you don't believe in reincarnation, and I'm not saying I do. But we
might lose it. We might lose some of those engaged listeners.
We're at 2.5 hours. I'd be damned. So you have said.
You're still here? Shout out to you.
Yeah. Ev, what's up? You have said that you don't like that because if there's nothing after this, you have to live today, this week, this month, the next 10 years as if there's nothing after this, which I 100% agree with, because if you do I like the thought of the reincarnation thing, and it's fun. I'm not like, if you want to talk about my beliefs, I'd say that's like,
I feel like there's a butt coming in here.
15-20% of my belief, 10% if that. I'm just curious, like we both agree on the general level that you can't fuck off today in hopes that you die tomorrow and the next one's better.
Yes.
So tying this in with the next one, do you think that everything that we're doing, like that you're working towards right now, that you're working on right now, that you're hoping for tomorrow, that you're hoping for in 10 years, do you think that's all already laid out for you? Or do you like believe in like the choice dilemma?
I 100% believe in the choice dilemma.
I don't think that's the right word, but you know what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I agree. So
I don't think there is a set in stone path.
Right.
I believe in the butterfly effect.
Give me your definition of that. Because I think I know what that means.
Every action has a reaction to it. Me moving this here is different than if I were to not do it for the rest of time.
So,
which is dramatic. There's a reaction and then a reaction to every reaction.
So keep going. You would have moved that. You would have forgot about it. You would have hit it off the table. We'd have to clean it up. We'd stop this. We'd be on a totally different path.
And then probably end the pod.
Right. So I'm with you. And so we're on the same page. 100%.
Yeah.
Destiny. Do you think, and like whether you think that destiny is tomorrow's happening and a month from now this deal's closing and 10 years from now I'm married with kids and 30 years from now I'm living on a beach, is destiny, or if your destiny is just making the world a better place, do you think that, quote, destiny is a thing?
What's your definition of destiny?
I don't want to use the word predetermined, but like a set thing that you were put here to do.
No.
Really?
No.
You think it's all based on
actions and consequences? I think
I'm with you.
I think the actions that you take.
I like this because we're thinking. We don't know. We think.
No, I don't know. I definitely don't know.
Keep going.
But based on my experiences, it's hard to believe that any of this was predetermined.
I agree.
I don't know how I would have gone from being a senior at Kirkwood High School to going to Mizzou to being a beta to joining MAB,
right,
to going to Vietnam, to going to North Carolina, to going to Chicago, to tic-tac-toe,
yeah,
without willingly choosing to do that. And I don't think that there was ever an end goal there, because the end goal there would have been me now working for a kind of nonprofit.
I remember that
type deal.
Yeah, I remember.
Teach for America.
Yeah,
didn't work out. Mm-hmm. Went through that application process.
Didn't work out.
I don't know. I think there is a subsequent level of choices that we make that have an opposite and another counterpoint reaction to it's just a big branch. I think looking at it in terms of, would you have gone this way or this way, and then you choose one, and then now you have a whole new flood of options.
Yes.
And I don't know realistically how that would ever be mapped out. A
lot of options.
Like, how in the world would me working for a Medicare brokerage in Columbia while I was in college lead me to Denver, which led me back to Columbia, which led me back to finishing school, which led me back to getting a job at Merritt's. Then the pandemic hit, got ex-nayed from Merritt's, and then worked at a farm for a year.
Shout out.
And then worked at a company that sells fire trucks. I don't think there is any way that was destiny.
Absolutely not.
For me to be in the position that I'm in right now.
I like what you just said, because it just made me think that the whole destiny thing.
I just think that random shit happens.
I agree.
And you have to deal with it. And you have to choose how you're going to deal with it. You can either be proactive or reactive. You can either be pessimistic or optimistic. Like, when I got that job at Merritt's, I was like through the roof.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, I'm going to be doing travel consulting. This is my dream job. This is everything I ever wanted.
I remember that. I was like right around Mardi Gras.
And then less than 2 weeks later, COVID hit, March of 2020. And they're like, yeah, no, not going to happen. I was like, oh, fuck. What do I do now? So I went and worked on a goddamn farm.
Moved dirt all day, baby.
Moved dirt.
I
don't think that's destiny.
No.
I think it's part of the journey.
I like that.
I don't think it's, maybe there is some sort of destiny to wherever my end goal may be, but I don't know what that is. I don't know where that's going to be.
How would you?
I don't have that mapped out. And I don't know, like, if it's necessarily good to have it mapped out that far. I think it's good to have like a 12-month, 36th month.
You gotta have a plan. Yeah. You gotta have an idea
of attack, but
you don't need the nitty-gritties worked out.
How often do those plans really pan out to be that way?
You gotta be adaptable. I like that because it always pisses me off with people always post on Instagram, like, and that's a whole other thing, but like they post on Instagram, it's like, oh, I'm moving to Denver. Let's just use, you just said Denver. Well, I'm moving to Denver. Like, I don't want to get into religious, but like, it was God's plan. Like, it was destiny. This is always for me. And like, let's say this is before COVID. You moved to Denver in September of 2019 when I started my old job. Oh, it was destiny. I was meant to be here. Boom. March 2020 hits. You get fired. You go home. Is your next Instagram post, oh, yeah, destiny was for me to move back to St. Louis.
And work on a farm.
Yeah, like, eat balls, dude. That's where you're coming from. It drives me crazy when I see that shit. And, like, I think I agree. I say I think because it's you've got to think about it all and process it all. Like, I think I agree with maybe you're born, and I don't want to get into religion, but maybe you're born, and when you're here, your end game, maybe that's there. And how you get there is a different story.
Yeah, that's fair. I can agree with that.
I can't elaborate on that because I don't have my full thought out. But like maybe that's, I don't know. I don't like the word destiny. I don't like the word destiny because like how by personal experience, like everything that I've done is like, oh yeah, this is it. This is it. I don't need to ever look for another job. And then
why settle for that, though?
Going on 3 years out of college, I've looked at 12 different jobs, have had 4, and I still don't really know what the fuck I'm doing.
Exactly.
And I think, like, the plan, like, I think I know where I want to get to and where I want to go. Who the fuck knows how I'm going to get there? But I plan on getting there. And
where is there?
Just, like, life goals, family goals, financial goals, relationship goals. Like, let's say just 5 years out. Like, I think I know what I want when I'm, let's say, 30. I think I know where I want to be. But, like, I turn 27, I turn 28, maybe I just completely flip the script. I'm like, that's actually not what I want to do. And then just like that, my destiny changed. Just like that. Like, no, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that.
I don't either.
And, like, I think, like, okay, this is all, like, wheels are spinning. Like, maybe when you die, like, your destiny is just, like, to look back and like appreciated what you have. This is getting way too philosophical. But like maybe that's like the whole thing is like your destiny was just to like sit back and just like, yeah, I had a good one.
Maybe. I don't know.
But like that's going back to like my original point was like,
I don't want to think about where I'll be after I die.
No, but like maybe that's the whole thing is like your destiny is like be able to like on your deathbed look back like, yeah, I had a good one because I might not get another one after this. Oh. Which honestly is a great way to live. If you get the fullest of every day, what do you got to complain about? Like what Charlie was talking about, born on third, everyone's born with their different circumstances. Like I can't speak for everyone, but if you yourself try and get the best out of every day, and you think about 5 years, and if every day you tried something to get there, you're heading it in the right direction. At some point, like, you can't complain about much.
Yeah. At the same token, I think it's hard to get the most out of every day, every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
From experience, some days they're like,
wash.
Fuck this.
Yeah. Big. Fuck this.
Like, I need a day to not do shit. Recharge.
We all need those. And that's
it's like hard because like you want to have that mentality of like, I want to make the most of this day because it's this day and it's like I don't want it to be a wash.
Right.
But then they are a wash and you're like, fuck.
Literally, like, so
could have done so much.
Literally, like, my job.
Oh, I'll do it tomorrow.
My job, like, I literally cold call and email all day, every day, trying to build relationships, trying to make stuff work. And, like, I'll go in, like, let's just use today as, like, well, no, I didn't go to the office today, so let's use yesterday as an example. Like, on the way to work, I'm not even listening to podcasts. I'm listening to music. I've got my coffee. Like, I'm getting pumped up. I'm like, I'm going to fucking rip this day. I'm making 50 phone calls. I'm talking to 45 people. I'm making at least 5 connections. And then I go throughout the day. I made 50 phone calls, talked to 3 people. And it's like, is today a wash or did I just waste it? And it's like, well,
how much energy did you give?
Right. And it's like some days, like, let's just use like Saturday as an example. Like, let's say I did that and like how we have nothing going on this weekend. I could go another tangent, but like, let's just say like sometimes you just need nothing. It's just like, I'm not going to do anything today and it's going to be a wash. I don't care because I need it.
Sometimes I got this piece of advice from one of my best friends, shout out Bennett, once. When I was going to visit my grandma who was terminally ill, and his mom was a hospice nurse, and she said that everyone wakes up with a battery charge. Some days you're at 100. Some days you're at 30. You only have that percentage to give to the day.
Yeah.
And she was more referring to my grandmother who was, working with 20%
on any given day.
But I feel like that can kind of snowball into the regular person of some days you wake up with 65. Some days you wake up with 100.
Sometimes you wake up with 150.
Right. And you attack the day.
Right.
But some days you wake up with 40 and you're like, man, taking a shower, getting up, going to work, doing that took out 10.
If you get up.
And now I'm at work and I've got 30. And I got to use this 30 to do what I need to do until I get home and go to bed and recharge.
And like, if you like literally, if I have like, let's say Saturday as an example, if I get up, I go for a walk, I put away the dishes, I reload the dishwasher.
Now you're at 70.
I put away the laundry. That's 50% right there.
Right.
Like that was 5 tasks that took 4 hours out of my day. Like I'm spent.
Yeah.
And me and Charlie talked about that. Is it like you never know what someone's going through? And like to use work as an example, like you can't just walk into someone's office and be like, I need this, and this done. And if they're at 30, they'll might have just a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And like, it's not because that they're like on the verge of anything, just at that given time, they mentally and physically just cannot handle what you just said to them.
Right.
And like at that point, like,
because they've already got their plate full.
Right. Like,
and you're just loading on the plate.
Like maybe they woke up and they went for a run and they were already at 70. And then they had to make their kids lunch. And then they had to get their kids up. And then they had to dress their kids. And then they had to make their kids breakfast. And then they had to get their kids to school.
And it's already 7 a.m.
Yeah. And then they go to work. And then they're worried, like maybe the husband had to work late. So now they don't know who's getting the kids on home on time. And they don't have a nanny that can go pick them up.
Yeah.
And you came into their office at 4:15 saying that you need this report done by 5:30. Sorry, guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously you can't just go in and be like, I don't know.
I just like to think, like, sometimes when I wake up, because you kind of know what kind of day it'll be.
100%.
Like,
you hop in the shower, you're thinking, like, what's today? Like, you think you know what's going to happen.
And you're like, man, because usually I usually tell myself I'm at, like, 80 to 90%. Some days I'm like, fuck, I'm at, like, 60 right now, and I'm just getting in the shower.
I can tell that literally by the time I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
If I wake up at 8:45, I'm like, fuck. But if I'm up at 7:30, I'm in the shower before 8. I've got my coffee by 8:15. I'm on the road. I'm getting to work before, like, 10 minutes, 15 minutes early before work. I'm like, yeah, today's going to rip.
Yeah. And you can just kind of tell. There are just those days. But there are those days where you're just like, man, I snoozed a lot. I'm now going to be maybe a little bit late for work. And I'm at 75 going into this day.
Right.
I'm not even at 90, where I should be at 90 coming in. And I don't know. I have this internal number in my head that I kind of tell myself where I'm at throughout the day.
That's good, though.
And where I'm at.
It's like a good mental check.
Yeah. And, like, after I ate lunch, I'm like, kind of bumped up back to, like, 45. So I'm like, man, I got 45 to deal with the rest of the day. And I try and supplement it with caffeine, but, like, that doesn't really do much.
It's just a Band-Aid.
Yeah, it's literally like maybe extra 2%.
But we've talked about it. Like, let's say tomorrow night, Friday night. Like, let's say.
Perfect example.
Tomorrow night, you're at 30%, and, like, we can go do something fun. But you are just like, I could, but I shouldn't. And you stay home. Saturday, you're going to be at 120%.
Yeah.
Or you could go out and just be like, the entire night, wake up, Saturday shitty, you're recovering
now
Sunday,
Monday's
a drag.
60. Yeah. And you just keep building off of that.
Which we can spin off of this. I was talking to Noah, but, like, talk about a plan. I was talking to Noah about something the other day. And, like, it drives me crazy. And Charlie said something. It drives me crazy. And the reason that I turned down a job like a month ago was because of, like, time expectations.
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
And I don't equate time to productivity because, like, if you shove me in a cubicle for 8 hours and you give me one project, if I'm, like, 120% that morning, that project's done by noon. But then, like, I don't have anything else to do, and you still expect me to stay there till 5, let alone 6, 7, 8 o'clock.
Today was a great example of that because I have to be in the office by 8 a.m.
Right.
Which means I have to leave the house at 7:20.
I was just, 30, 40-minute drive.
Yeah. Which means I wake up at 6:15, 6:30, 6:45 if I'm sleeping. Then I'm already starting the day at 80%.
Right.
If I were to be able to go into the office at 9, sleep until 7:30, and it's just like I hate the restriction of the structure of it.
I agree. I'm totally with you, dude.
And it's like it drives me crazy because we're working on a project that is completely different than the rest of the company. So it's like, why the fuck do you care if I'm there at 8:01 or 7:55 or 8:55? We're not talking. We're not doing anything. I check Twitter for the first 30 minutes of the workday anyway because I don't want anyone to fucking talk to me.
We play Wordle.
I play Wordle to get my mind going.
Same.
And I fucking crush like 2 cups of coffee because I'm like, I am exhausted right now. And it's not because I stay up late. It's not because I do whatever. It's just because, like, I enjoy my rest.
Right.
I need my rest.
No.
And that's just maybe a thing of, like, growing up. Like, I need to get used to it.
No.
But at the same time, it's like, I hate the stigma around not being there at 7:45.
I can't stand it.
And it's like, yeah, you guys might wake up at 5:15 and be up and wired and ready to go at 6 a.m. But
that's not me.
That's not me.
And you can't expect that to be me.
No, you guys
just because I've been here 6 months.
Yeah. 12 months.
It doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
I was like, let's say you're just like a coder, like literally, and like you had free flexibility. Like maybe you're just like a night owl, and like you get your coding done from 8 p.m. to 2 in the morning.
But no, we're supposed to be there from 8 to 4:30.
You can't just like hire that person and expect that. Like their time is their time.
Right. It's when they work is when they work.
Yeah, and as long as you get your shit done, who cares?
My best hours of productivity are from like 10 to like 2.
Yeah, mine's like same. Like once like 3:30 hits.
But because at like 3 o'clock, I'm just spent. I'm running on like 25-30%.
Meeting, phone call, interview, phone call, meeting, interview.
Email, and it's like all this stuff. It's like holy shit. I just need to, like, I'm done. It's like 3:30 and like we have to be here for another hour, and I'm like,
why?
I'm done.
I
got all my shit done. I got everything I wanted to accomplish for the day done, and I have to sit here because if I don't sit here and I just leave, big red flag. And it's like, why? And it just drives me crazy. I'd rather show up at 9 and stay until 5:30 because I'm better that way. Because when I get there at 7:45, I'm just like, no one fucking talk to me. I don't want to be here. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to, not water cooling anything. I don't want to talk to you about the game last night. I don't want to talk to any of you people. I want to put my headphones in. I don't even put on music or a podcast. I just put my headphones in so no one talks to me.
I'm out.
I'm not a morning person.
And like
that's just not me.
No, there's like literally been like psychological and physical studies on people where some people are literally morning people. And some people just like some people literally need 9-10 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
and
I do.
If they get their work done from 4 to 9 and they have their free time, they go to bed at midnight, they got to sleep till 10, or otherwise they're at 40% the whole day.
Yeah.
And like, what are you going to do with that? Then it takes 2 months instead of 3 weeks to get their shit done.
Right. And it's just like, oh, man, it is nice to be in an office environment,
100%, I agree.
Be around people, and I get that, love that. But when you're asking me questions at 8:05 about what our plan of attack for is the day, I'm like, do not, doc. Like, give me until at least 8:30. And like some of the people I work with, like some of the engineers now know that. And they're like, Davis, I'm sorry. I know it's before 8:30. Like,
it's early, kid.
Yeah, like I gotta get your opinion on this. I'm like, what?
What do you need?
What do you need? This is my Wordle time.
I said it once to somebody.
Which sounds so shitty.
No, it's true though.
But it's like, come on. Like,
it's literally like people shit on it, but it's like, okay, unless you're some crackhead executive that fucking does crazy shit in the morning, like most execs wake up, have their coffee, maybe work out, and then they read for the first hour, and their day's not started until 9:30. Like, they're not making sales calls at 7 in the morning.
No.
They're not sending emails at 7 in the morning.
Right.
And it's like, why would you expect that out of me? My time is my time, dude. Like, yeah, I need to get paid, but, like, I have dishes, I have laundry. I don't have a maid, let alone a kid.
I don't know. It's just, like, the whole 8 a.m.
No. And that, like, I'm lucky.
It's just, I think it's a mature thing. Like, we'll grow into it, I think. But right now, it's like, man. And it's not like I'm staying up till 1 or 2 in the morning.
And it's not like
I go to bed at a reasonable hour.
And it's not like we want to roll up to work at 11.
Right. It's like, just give me a little bit of space.
If I have the option of working from home any day. And like any day, all day, every day, I can work from home. Half our company does.
Don't have that option at all.
And like, I'm lucky enough that I do. I might work, I work from home today, and I'm going to work from home tomorrow. And that's just because of the 6 people that come in the office regularly, the other 4 work from home. 3 are out of town. 1's on tours all day, and the other one's doing family stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like, what am I going to do? Wake up at 8:30, go in the office at 9, be in the office alone all day? No.
Yeah.
And, like, luckily I have that. And I'm so thankful for where I'm at. But, like, it's like you can't just throw that on. And, like, 8 and 9 and 4 and 5. It's like, and, like, luckily, like, my boss doesn't care. Like, as long as I produce, he can't complain. Like,
see, that's just like not how my boss is. He's like, no, the workday starts at 8 and it ends at 4:30. Like, you show up, you do this. Remote work doesn't work. All this bullshit. It's like, which I get.
It's like the traditional shit. And like,
yeah, and I totally understand his perspective.
Absolutely.
But there's no leniency unless you have something going on. I.e., yesterday, taking my car to the shop.
Dentist appointment.
Physician,
whatever.
If you have a legitimate excuse, then you're kind of off the cuff. But, like, for me to just waltz in at 9, they'd be like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, I fucking woke up. Got here. But everyone would just be like, why were you not? It's like, oh, my God.
I can't say. I said it to...
Go sell your fire trucks. I'll fucking work on my thing.
I said it to someone, I don't remember who I said it to, but me and Noah were talking about, like, the plan thing. I'd like to own a business. I don't know what. I have no clue what. Don't ask me when, how, where. I don't know any of those. But I'd like to be one of the people that switches the thing to, like, if I have a sales team, I'm not going to expect you to be 9 to 5. Like, if you're a kick-ass sales dude and you go from 10 to 2 and you make your quarter in a week, yeah, come in, make more money. Dude, I don't care.
Yeah, up to you.
You made tenfold what we expected. If you make us back, again, I've never run a business. I can't speak for this. But, like, if you're producing and making the company money, and, like, even if you're in, like, literally you could run statistics. We have the technology. You go in from 9 to 5. You make cold calls from 9 to 5. But your cold calls from 9 to 11 are, like, 1%. But from 11 to 3 are 80%. Like, just reception, conversion, sales, closing, everything.
What's the point?
And then your sales calls from 3 to 5 are back down to 5%. What's the fucking point?
Exactly.
Get in at 10:45, run your show, get the fuck out of here.
Dude.
Like, you have other stuff going on.
Yeah.
And, like, everything that I've ever heard is, like, your family and your relationships. Like, people, like, look back on their lives and, like, yeah, like, your family, your friends, your laughter, like, your enjoyment time is, like, what you cherish the most, not the job that you had from when you were fucking 25 to 50. Like, sure, you made money, but, like, it was the time you spent with your family and stuff. And, like, if you're working all that and you can't spend the time with your family, then what's the fucking point?
Yeah, that's the call to being a broker, being a sales agent, being all that shit. It's like, if you meet your quota, meet your goal, do your shit.
And
go pick up your kids from soccer practice.
And, like,
go be that guy.
We can't speak for everybody because some people need the structure. They need it.
For sure.
They want it.
For sure.
I can't speak for, not everyone wants to own a business. Yeah. I'm not knocking you for that at all. But I think that, like, we're just at the point where it's just money, work. And it's like, at some point, when are you going to do something fun?
Right.
I mean, at the base, like, at the most, I don't know. Sorry.
I mean, I just think we're getting into this new age of work, especially with COVID. Where you can find people that do well at home. You can find people that do well with the structure. You have to balance that. There's a balance. You can
find it and you can know.
Because I personally do not do well with the work from home. I am very tempted by everything else going on. I'm like, oh yeah, I could cook some stuff up.
That's what I was saying. Like, I can work from home every day. I work from home maybe two to four times a month.
Yeah.
Like, I would say once every other week I work from home.
Yeah.
And I can work from home.
But it's nice to have that luxury.
It is because like what
doing it.
Because like literally speaking for myself, my most productive time is from like 10 to 3.
Yeah.
And like 9 to 10 is setting up, getting my day going, drinking my caffeine, getting some food in me, like a smoothie, whatever. And then like if I'm at home and I wake up at 8:30 to 9, I'm showering, eating breakfast. 9 to 10, I can switch my laundry, change my laundry, put the dishes in. Then 10 to 3, I'm working. 3 to 4, I'm switching my laundry back. I'm putting stuff away. Then at 4:30, I get to go work out.
I know, and it's just like where I'm at is like that. What you're just saying, it's like that happens for me at 6:30. Mm-hmm. Like I'm up at 6:15, getting in the shower, getting ready, going to work, making breakfast, out the door by 7:15.
And it's
like that. And then I leave I leave my office at 4:30, go work out from 5 to 6. Don't get home till 6:30. Now I'm like,
now it's 7.
I'm like, fuck. I don't want to do anything but go to bed. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, my laundry is like overflowing. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna do that. Probably on the weekend.
Yeah. But then you're doing
probably on Sunday.
But then the weekend, that's when you get to see your friends.
And it's like,
am I not going to see my friends? Am I not going to be happy?
Right. Because I have to do fucking laundry and the dishes and cook dinner for myself.
It's like, so outrageous.
It's just like this cycle that like does not break. And it's tough to like break that cycle. And it's like, it's fun to do things like this, to like look forward to doing something that like breaks that cycle. Because it's so easy to like get in that cycle of doing this, doing that, doing this, going home, going to bed, waking up, doing this, doing that, rinse and repeat.
And I'm thinking about it now.
And I'm very much in that cycle. Mm-hmm. And it's like very, very hard to break.
It's frustrating because like we're in this stage, like we're in the early stages of the internet. Like the internet was like 99, 97.
97, yeah.
Something like that. And our parents got their first jobs, started working, did work without the internet, maybe started late on the internet.
Well, your parents are way younger than my parents.
But it's not like my dad, like,
yeah,
I don't even know when my dad got his job. Like, I don't know what year he got his job. But like, let's say it was, he graduated in 91. So even then, he did his job day in, day out without the internet. 6 years without the internet.
Right.
And like I get the traditional thing of like going in, you got to put the work in, like you got to have the hours. But now it's like, yo, sure, it's only 20 years and like we're only 25, but like I can send someone a DM in India and he can respond in 5 minutes.
Easily.
And like in their time, again, I'm not saying that our parents are fucking World War II vets, but like they would have like a 3-4 day response time. And like now with us, we'll know within the next, by the time we'd wake up, we would have a response and we'd know if something's happening or not with that person in India, with that person in Japan, with that person in Australia. Name, it doesn't matter. Right. Like the time zone is no longer a thing.
No.
It's just when they're up and running versus when they see the thing.
Right.
And it's like frustrating because it doesn't matter what you need to do. The time is no longer.
Yeah. Do you use Chrome?
Yeah, strictly.
Do you use Gmail?
Yes.
There's a Chrome extension that you can get called Mail Check. You can see who's opened.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. You can see who's opened and clicked on your emails.
Really?
Yeah. It's really cool.
That's kind of dangerous.
It's really helpful when you're looking at prospects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you know when to follow up.
Well, and it's like, they haven't opened your email in 24 hours. Do you want to follow up? It's like,
What's it called? Mail Check?
I want to say, look up Gmail Chrome extension. I want to say it's Mail Check. Mail. Yeah, go to that. It's really good. Hold on.
Sorry, I'll go up.
Hold on.
Checker Plus.
No.
I had that one for my old job. I did not like it.
No, fuck it, that.
Send from Gmail, not that. Not that. Active inbox, maybe?
No. It's like a mail something. Go to M.
It's not MailChimp, is it?
No. MailChimp's a CRM. MailTrack. Yep, that's it. I downloaded it.
Just look for a green double check mark next to the message. Click in. You'll even see how long ago it was read. Do you pay for this?
Nope.
Oh, pay $10 a month.
It's a free extension.
To remove. Huh.
It's nice.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
That would be huge for what I do.
I exactly did. Takes 2 seconds to hook up to your Gmail. Yeah, that's it. Do you have a lot of Chrome extensions?
I have 2. Add the 2 you've sent me. So the 3 that I'll have will be all from you.
Get Grammarly as well.
Oh, I do. I have that on my email.
Well, you can get it as a Chrome extension as well, so it's all over your Chrome.
I don't know how, but I have that. Connect with Google. Yeah, why'd you bring this up? We're at 3 hours and 10 minutes.
I don't know why I brought this up, but it's nice for when you send emails out and you're like, huh, this dickhead hasn't even opened it yet. Yeah. Just do the free version.
Just like
it is kind of obnoxious because they send you like daily updates.
So now how do I see if someone's opened something?
Well, you have to, it's now from here on out.
Every email that I've sent.
Yeah. And they'll send you a report daily.
Oh, so right here, 1 check mark, 2 check marks.
Yeah.
So what's 1 check mark versus 2 check marks?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
What's 1 versus 2?
I think 1 is like
they got it.
Yeah, and then 2 is like
opened it.
Yeah, I clicked on it.
I'll just send myself one and see what happens.
Send it to me.
What's your thing?
Davis Hurth at fleet4.net. Number 4. Yeah, there we go. Now we can start.
How about that? I'm going to send you so many emails.
Love that.
Wow, look at that. There's already 2 check marks I just sent. Wow, look at that. So the green says you got it.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Not yet. Yeah, I did get it.
Now open it.
Double check.
Dude, that's nuts.
Right?
That's dumb.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
I'm about to send so many fucking emails tomorrow.
It is kind of obnoxious, though, because they do send you like a daily report. But
whatever, I'll block it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Word.
You
want to end it?
Yep. It's 11:30.
We're at 3:12.
Yeah.
Love you, dude.
Love you, dude.
Thanks so much.
Holy shit.
This is a fucking blast.
Holy shit. And we didn't even like scratch